TikTok time to rock. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone who's watching from all over the world. Sorry about that little delay. I had the section of the 10v1 debate with Sheikh Uthman and the Christians, and I chopped out Vocab's entire section, but he was saying it makes more sense with some of the some other things going on, and so got some of those videos ready real quick. So got a bunch of stuff we can go through. But Vocab, man, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's very good to be here. And I see I've got the hat, you have the glasses, and then someone is the complete person who has both.
What are those hats called, by the way?
Well, they'll call them Kangles, but this is an Irish quilt hat. I don't know what.
They call those Kangles? I thought that was like the old rapper hat, man. With the
well, that can be. That's a bucket hat, but the Kangle is the brand name. But a lot of people call any hat like this a Kangle, but that's not right. It's like tissue Kleenex. So this is an Irish quilt hat. I don't know. Are these polo hats? I don't know.
I don't know what the heck that is. Nor do I know why we're talking about it, except Jai had to be slick. Wait a minute. So Kangle from UTFO, he was named after the hat?
Yeah, and it's their logo is a kangaroo. Kangle.
So was it the hat or the kangaroo?
No, the logo of Kangle was a kangaroo.
Oh, okay.
Kangle.
Okay. Yo, Kango. Yeah, what's up, girl? I'm the real Roxanne, and I'll rock your... That was old school, man.
Hey.
Way back in the day.
But it's the brand, not the style, but people say that.
I get it. So anyway, man, so Vocab, you just were part of the Sheikh Uthman versus a bunch of Christians. We're going to watch some stuff. So far, hasn't been looking too good for Sheikh Uthman, but what were your before we actually watch some stuff on it, what were your thoughts on everything?
Number one is people are like, oh, the downfall, the end of his career. I think you and I have been along enough to know events like this don't really bring down these guys' career for the most part. I don't think. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just there's not enough realization of what happened for it to be, And I give Uthman credit. He showed up. He was there for over 4 hours straight, just debating one person after another, and he was by himself, no entourage, just there. So regardless of what else anyone says, I give him props. And despite the stuff he said after in the videos, the vibe was pretty chill. It was a fun event to be there. Like, it was cordial, and it was just great. Afterwards he was saying they needed extra security. That people just do that kind of stuff after debates, I guess, but he didn't need to because it was a great vibe.
So what'd you think? I've only seen a couple of the sections. I watched Sig's section, and then we just went through the section with Anita, but you were there for all of it. Who do you think did best out of everyone?
Oh, Elijah. Elijah got in, he got out. He knew just when to stop. And it was just like, oh, even when it happened, we were like, oh, well, it was the perfect, concise amount of time just to have it be done, and boom. And it was so clear and succinct. It was great. It was great.
Interesting. Yeah. So Elijah, that sounds awesome. All right, so we ready to check out some clips here?
I think so. The first one is his misuse of the MacArthur Study Bible. So apparently Avery had showed up at Balboa Park to talk to our friend the Sheikh before, and I guess he had the MacArthur Study Bible, and so
I've seen him with the MacArthur Study Bible. Yeah, that's what he uses.
Yeah, which I like. That's cool. And then I guess Uthman was like, I'll use it against him. So he found a place where there was a footnote that mentioned scribal errors. And so he was using it sort of as this, boom, your own Bible you use says your Bible's corrupt. So I want to show how he is completely misrepresenting his own source. Mm-hmm. So that's what happens in the very beginning.
All right. So let's go ahead and check this out. This video is over on... What's that different channel? It's not your old channel.
At God City Live.
At God City Live. This is over on Vocab's channel. Let's check it out. Uthman and MacArthur Study Bible.
Yes,
Is John 1:19 one of those places where the unlettered prophet is described in the Gospels?
I don't believe so.
Then why do you have a video that says John 1:19? Is this you, fam?
That is me. Yeah.
Where you?
Bruh, there's no way.
The name Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is clearly mentioned in the Bible.
Right on.
Thank you.
A couple of the.
Hang on. I haven't seen. I haven't
You downloaded.
Seen
Yeah, you downloaded the Muhammad in the Bible video. This is not the MacArthur video, but we should watch it still. But this is a different video than I thought you said you downloaded, because you said you didn't download it.
Hang on.
This video is Muhammad in the Bible. That's fine. We can watch it, but I'm saying, because you said you didn't want to download it because you said it was too long. But you're playing the is Muhammad in the Bible video, not the MacArthur video. But you should finish it. I can watch. This is a great video.
One second. No, this is the video, man.
Oh, okay.
This one's 10 minutes long. That's fact check. Did John MacArthur say Bible is corrupt?
I guess it is. Okay. I guess it is. I don't know.
Okay. If you're wrong about that, what else are you wrong about, dude? Hey, I haven't seen any of this section as far as the Muhammad and the Bible stuff, so I don't know what the interactions were like on that. But you have any clue what he's thinking? Because he made it something like Muhammad's mentioned by name. Like, what if you wanted to say there are prophecies about Muhammad? Okay, say there are prophecies about Muhammad and get into those. But actually saying he's mentioned by name, like, is he going to go Song of Solomon 5:16, like, which is beyond ridiculous?
So the original prompt did not say mentioned by name. And so a lot of people, including myself, got ready for this. Muhammad is clearly mentioned in the Bible. That was the original prompt. Muhammad is clearly mentioned in the Bible. I'm literally looking at the message right now. Muhammad is clearly mentioned in the Bible. The word clearly is in all caps. That was the original prompt. When we got there, Sean said, oh, he added some clarifiers. And we looked, and it said Muhammad is clearly mentioned by name in the Bible. So that's not a clarifier. And then he acted as if he would allow the conversation to still go there, but he didn't. He just wanted to talk about Song of Solomon 5:16.
By the way, when did you guys figure out? When did you guys figure out about the topic change? Because I heard that was something that was like the day of, right?
It was as we walked into the studio.
As you walked into the studio, you're finding out that the topics changed.
We were showing a new piece of paper different than our message.
That's
pretty
crazy.
Slick.
It was right. Yeah, it was right before we sat down. And he said, no, I didn't change it. Just clarifiers.
Yeah, guys, imagine that. You agree to a debate. The debate is all set up. You show up to the debate and, oh, yeah, we've modified the topics. Modified the topics a little. Interesting. All right, let's go ahead and check this out here.
Sources you had that you used earlier. Were we able to turn to that John MacArthur study Bible you had?
Sure. Again, because of the fact that we do know that there are scribal errors, mistakes that were made, names, numbers, and this is the McCarthy Study Bible, that's again, right, from a Christian authority. I'm not...
The McCarthy Study Bible, guys. The McCarthy.
Yeah. So this is earlier in the debate. He's using it against someone else, because notice I'm in the background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Joe McCarthy Study Bible. We got it here, folks. Here we go.
Yeah. Coming at it from a Muslim perspective, it shows that 707,000 scribal error. Secondly, how many chariots were there?
707,000. Okay.
Scribal errors, so names that are flipped.
No, I'm just saying later. Look at Elijah's face, first of all. But he's going to say that he didn't say that about the 707,000 scribal error. He's going to say he didn't say that, but you heard him just say it.
Let me back it up just so everyone's clear here. Let's see.
Authority. I'm not coming at it from a Muslim perspective. It shows that 707,000 scribal error. Secondly, how many chariots were there? Scribal errors, names that are flipped, copyist errors that go throughout the Bible. And I can give you 100 if you like, but we would agree that there are scribal errors and mistakes that are in the current Old Testament.
There's something in 1 Kings 9:1 that I think is relevant. It seemed like when you went there, you said that there was like 700,000 scribal errors, I think is what you said.
I did not say that. 707,000 scribal error.
When you were there. But you said mentioned about it.
Can I respond to what I said?
Well, I was just going to see if you could read this and then you could comment on it.
I don't know if,
From the source you use in regards to textual corruption and things like that. Because I think it'll be helpful. Do you remember what you said, though?
It was
do.
something about the errors, correct?
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
the difference between 700 and 7,000 is what I was mentioning, not that there are
Oh, the
700,000.
chariot number. Oh,
Yeah, 707,000 errors. Oh, no, I'm saying there's a difference between 700 and 7,000. Okay.
Yeah, the chariots, how many people David killed. It's right there if you want to.
Gotcha,
I got it
okay.
highlighted. And
all right. Okay. Well, there's something from the MacArthur Study Bible.
Okay.
That's good clarification.
What would you like me to read?
That when it talks about the sources of the Book of the Kings,
Where do you want me to read?
the thing is, I was looking for the page. I got the digital version. I think it's page 856 or so, but I'm going to
Do you
read
want me
from
to
some
look it
of
up
it.
from 856?
Yeah, if I could read from...
I mean, what verse is it under? I can look it up.
It's in the beginning of where it talks about the Chronicles sources. Because here's what...
I mean, I'm confused. So,
Yeah,
so
what's-
do you want me to give me the verse
Well,
and I can look it up?
Let me read it to you, and then I'll,
Well, I mean,
see.
I don't know what you're reading off of. Can we look at the book?
Well, yeah,
please?
the Chronicle sources. Here's what it says, though.
I'm sorry,
Hold on.
From the MacArthur Study Bible.
Is it from that book?
Yeah, but I have the
And we're-
digital copy, so it's
we're
hard to
trying to
find
get
it in
him
his
to
What
that
copy.
verse and chapter would it be? Because I can
He can
turn
pull
to
it
it.
up.
That's not an issue.
I think it's at the beginning of the Book of Chronicles where it says the Chronicle sources.
We don't have time to do this. If
What
you want to look it up and give it to me, then
Okay.
I'll take a look at it.
All right, well,
Thank
let me
you.
read what it says. Although
Can you
relatively...
actually look it up? I mean,
yes, but I have it
I
digital.
don't trust digital copies.
Why
I like
not?
that's why I brought all these books with me. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm going to read you what it says, and I'll try to find it in your copy, okay? Maybe
Okay.
I could do it
Go for it.
during the discussion.
Go ahead.
Although relatively few scribal errors have been made in copying Scripture, they can be identified and corrected. Thus, the original inerrant content of the Bible has been preserved. That's from the MacArthur Study Bible that you used to try to show that it had corrupted sources.
Right, just like MacArthur has also shown that these were added scribal errors, additions that were made by people for political and other causes. Did you want me to
Yeah.
I love the over-the-shoulder stuff. There's always someone behind him going, huh? What? But the people change. See, were you guys moving around and stuff? Because who's behind him going, what? What did he just say?
Yes, because it would depend on who's debating next and who had already debated. That's why there's rotations on who's behind him. And then it changed a little bit more after the intermission. We had a little bathroom break. But so it was tricky to find. So it's rough in the beginning because it's one thing to find it in my digital copy on Logos. It's different to find it in his. Yep. And so it took me a second, but it was in 1 Chronicles 9, not 1 Kings 9. But like I have it here in mine, and eventually I find it. So he's going to read it.
Okay, cool.
So he's going to actually read it. But hear how he just used it. So watch this.
All right, let's see.
that these were added scribal errors, additions that were made by people for political and other causes. Did you want me to respond or?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you used it to show corruption, right? Now I'm going to try to find it in here, but it is in here because I have Logos. So I looked it up when you were talking. But
Okay, I'll concede that for you, no problem. I thought you were going to give like a particular verse, which I wanted to look into. But you're saying a general statement.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying MacArthur is saying there are scribal errors.
MacArthur Study Bible you used.
Yes. So
says that they can be identified and corrected. Do you agree with that?
No. I don't.
Okay, but you use it as a source to show scribal errors.
Can I speak? If you don't mind, I'll let you speak. And when I start speaking, you start cutting me off.
Why are you persecuting him, man? This dude, like half of his debates are whining.
Right? So again, the fact that there are scribal errors, till today, they have not been changed. Even in my Bible right here, I can find those. And scholars will even debate what the actual verse is supposed to say. And that's why NIV and other translations have been rejected by most Christians that I've spoken to that have stuck to the KJV, even when NIV tried to get rid of those scribal errors, saying that no, that these corrections are wrong. So that doesn't make sense. What we can agree on, that there are scribal errors.
It's page 514. I found it.
Thank you.
Right there above that box.
Yeah.
But I think it's disingenuous to try to prove the Bible with a corrupted. You're saying it's corrupted, but the very source you use says they can be identified and corrected. So do you agree with your source you brought today?
Again, this is let me answer you one more time.
But do you see where it is in the book too?
I
just want to make sure.
I see it.
Okay, that's good. So now you trust digital. That's good.
I don't. I still don't. That's why I'm looking at the source that you showed me. Right now, again, to say that McCarthy has an opinion, he has many opinions that I think even you and me might disagree with him on. But the fact that he points out in his study Bible that these errors do exist, that's something that can be identified, that can be verified against manuscripts, not an opinion of MacArthur.
They can be identified and corrected, is what it says. You see where it says corrected
Once
there?
again, it could be corrected, but even those corrections then are rejected by other scholars, just like the NIV corrections were rejected by the... No, don't try to... let me finish.
I'm allowed to shake my head, sir.
No, but
I can shake my head all day.
Let me...
Why are you interrupting him by shaking your head in disagreement? Shame on you. This dude loves to whine, man.
Yeah.
Let me finish what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
Now,
go ahead.
the fact that MacArthur feels that he could correct them still stands to the fact that every Bible that we are reading today that I have my hands on is either disputed by other Christians or still contain those errors. So it has not been corrected. Now, when you start...
The last line, could you just read that last line on top of the box? The very last line.
Sure.
Thus, where it says
although
thus.
relatively few scribal errors have been made in copying scriptures that can be identified and corrected, thus the original content of the Bible has been preserved.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I do not agree with that statement.
Gotcha.
As it's an opinion.
That's fine.
As
You're allowed to say that.
Thank
I
you.
respect that.
Thank you.
But I just want to point out you misuse your sources.
Did
Now,
we
I do
make
not
this an
misuse-
authority earlier?
I did not. That was
Yes,
the NET.
he did.
Did we make
it was not this, and this is the MacArthur Study Bible
That's
again.
fine, okay.
It was the NET Bible
Now let's
that
go
we're
to
talking
James
about authority.
Dunn.
No, hold on.
Guys, you hear that? So earlier he's using the McCarthy. You had the flashback there. Earlier, I'm in the McCarthy Study Bible and using this authority. And then right here, when he's called out for using the MacArthur Study Bible to argue that the Bible's been corrupted, when it says even when it's talking about the scribal errors and stuff, says you can spot those. You can spot when a scribe messes something up. He then says, no, I was quoting something else. I was quoting the NET.
Well, I think I see. Oh, yeah,
It
go
says
ahead.
relatively few. It just says relatively few have been made, and he's talking about 700,000. But go ahead.
Yeah. No, I think I identified the error here. So Vocab is using the MacArthur Study Bible. Uthman is using the McCarthy Study Bible.
Why are you lying?
So
I was using the McCarthy. I was using the McCarthy Study Bible. This guy thinks I'm talking about the MacArthur Study Bible. These stupid Christians, they're so dumb.
Yeah, David, the McCarthy Study Bible doesn't have any red letters.
Right. The red line.
Doesn't have any red lines. Nothing. Because we're American, not commies. All right, here we go.
Hold on. Let me finish now, because you can't just roll over me. No.
Well, it already happened. It already happened.
You're not rolling over anybody, bro.
Hold on.
Calm
That's just
down.
the first roll.
Don't flatter yourself.
You
all
made
right?
a point. Let him at least.
Thank you.
All right.
But I swear
Again,
you made that
again.
an authority earlier.
No, we were right. Just like MacArthur has also shown, the issue of authority was the NIT Bible.
No.
which was
NET.
No.
That's an
No,
NET.
NIT.
It was the scholar thing.
Wait, no. What the heck is the NIT? So now we
He's
the
got,
Bible
mixing up
you're
names.
now we got the
McCarthy
NIT, the NIT and the McCarthy.
It's the one your grandma made from scratch. The knit Bible.
She knitted it, yeah.
Scholars.
I mean, you can listen. You can look up the video later. And this is the MacArthur Study Bible again from a Christian authority. It shows that 707,000 scribal error. Right, just like MacArthur has also shown that these were added scribal errors, additions that were made by people for political and other causes. But this is the one that we were discussing about the 25 scholars in regarding the authority. I can show you the verse that I read from it.
I'll
That's
take
okay.
your word on it,
but
I
MacArthur
thought this
is
was like a
no
whole
doubt
thing about scholars not having authority or having authority, and you were giving authority.
for sure.
Okay.
Again, and scholars will hold opinions. That's
Okay.
one thing, and none of us will say that we agree with every opinion. In fact, Avery threw this under the bus when he brought up the two different ages. You did, yeah,
Hold
you
on,
did.
hold on. I
You did.
understand what you're saying. You are allowed to disagree.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Let me
Go ahead.
finish.
Everybody
Now,
quiet. Thank
when
you.
Avery first came to us, he brought this, and in front of Sneeko, and this video is online, when I brought
Right
this
here,
out.
brother. Me. Avery's over there. You already had your time.
Listen,
Let's go.
don't interrupt me. Thank you.
Please, let's
Yeah,
go.
please don't interrupt
But
me.
you're going to filibuster.
Please
Hold
don't
on.
interrupt me.
Stop.
When I had brought this up to Avery, he had said, this is MacArthur's opinion, right? I'm not taking people's opinions. You can look at the video. Sneeko's there. You can look at that. He threw MacArthur under the bus on that one, right? But here, when I'm saying that there's scribal errors that you can verify against manuscript, that is very different from the opinion of a scholar. Those are two different things.
Right. So
Thank
I'll take MacArthur over the Sheikh.
So this part by Vocab Malone is golden. So Uthman has
Wait, how's this on your channel when it's live, man?
Because I told him I was going to use a couple of his comments where he comments because it's funny. It's very
okay.
brief. Very brief.
I have to say, it is funny. And for everyone who's watching, very, very common tactic with Sheikh Uthman. It's called gaslighting. He says something, everyone hears him say it, but later on, no, what? No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. And you can actually make people start doubting them until you realize you're dealing with a gaslighter. You can actually like go, oh, okay, maybe I wasn't hearing correctly. Maybe I misunderstood something. I don't know, man. But yep, famous Sheikh Uthman tactic. I backed up a little.
Over the Sheikh.
So this part by Vocab Malone is golden. So Uthman has been running around with this McCarthy Study Bible trying to present how the Bible is corrupted until Vocab prompts him to read what the book says.
Get up. I mean,
yes, but I have it digital.
I don't trust digital copies. I like that's why I brought all these books with me, right?
Okay.
You don't trust the digital copy of the same book.
Could you just read that last line on top of the box? The very last line.
Sure.
Thus, where it says
although
thus,
relatively few scribal errors have been made in copying scriptures that can be identified and corrected, thus the original content of the Bible has been preserved.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I do not agree with that statement.
Gotcha.
As
Okay.
it's an
That's
opinion.
fine. That's fine.
As
You're allowed to say that.
Thank
I
you.
respect that.
Thank you.
But I just want to point out you misuse your sources.
As we see time and time again, Muslims only using things that appeal to how they want to deceptively present information. Uthman just got caught cherry picking this study Bible that he's been lying to people about forever. Uthman just got caught cherry picking.
Yeah.
But I think it's disingenuous to try to prove the Bible with a corrupted. You're saying it's corrupted, but the very source you use says they can be identified and corrected. So do you agree with your source you brought today?
Again, this is let me answer you one more time.
Do you see where it is in the book too?
But the fact that he points out in his study Bible that these errors do exist, that's something that can be identified, that can be verified against manuscripts, not an opinion of MacArthur.
So basically all he read was there was variance, closed the book and said, aha, the Bible is corrupted. But he didn't understand what we mean when we say variance, and also got the real scholarly understanding of how the variance could be reconciled. I hope you guys caught that.
Although relatively few scribal errors have been made in copying scripture, they can be identified and corrected. Thus, the original inerrant content of the Bible has been preserved.
Thus, the original content of the Bible has been preserved.
Thank you.
All right, so we've said it trillions and trillions of times here, guys. They cherry pick verses from the Bible. They cherry pick verses from the Quran. They cherry pick hadiths. They cherry pick quotations from church fathers. They cherry pick notes and commentary and study Bibles and stuff like that. That's foundational. It's foundational to dawah. You don't go to a source and say, what is this source actually saying? Let me make sure I represent it accurately. You go to the source, look for anything that agrees with you, rip it completely out of context, even if the text is actually saying the opposite of what you're saying, and you use it as proof to dupe people who aren't familiar with the source. And so Sheikh Uthman, as Life was pointing out, Sheikh Uthman's been using that MacArthur Study Bible for years for that purpose. Even McCarthy admits that the Bible is corrupted. And he's saying the exact opposite if you actually read what it says.
And so everyone knows where it was because it was a little choppy in the beginning. We were trying to line up our sources. It's a little box. I know you're not going to be able to totally see this, but it's a little article about the sources of the chronicler. And then what it does is it has the information on top of the box is a little paragraph, and that's what I had him read. So if you want to find that and you have a MacArthur Study Bible, don't do it by the page number. Do it from the First Chronicles 9 section. It's in the it's like a call out spot in First Chronicles 9. That's what place in the MacArthur Study Bible that appears. So if you have the MacArthur Study Bible, go to First Chronicles 9 and you'll see that box that I had him read. And so we ever have a video of Sheikh Uthman saying that the Bible's original intent, even though it's not what it said, he messed it all up, but the content has been preserved.
Man, I think I have a theory as to why Uthman doesn't trust digital versions of books. And it goes back to the footnote from about 4 years ago with God Logic with Avery. That was actually a digital version of a
Oh,
book.
he got burned. He got burned before.
I think he
So-
learned since then. He got burned from a footnote that had a typo in it, and ever since then he's like, I'm not touching those, not touching those.
What happened?
Hmm?
What happened though?
Okay.
The
You're not
original.
familiar with the Sheikh Ibn footnote? The Sheikh Ibn footnotes? Okay. Well, yeah, I'm planning on making a video. I mean, videos were already made about that, but given the recent footnote problems, I'm going to make a Sheikh Ibn footnote strikes again video, sort of putting these things together, because it's an ongoing problem. The man does not represent sources accurately, especially when it's a footnote. He'll read a footnote, which can be saying the exact opposite of what he needs it to say. He will say it says what he needs it to say and close the book real quick and move on. And the thing is, if someone hasn't read that, you take for granted that he just quoted a source to you, and then you proceed as if he's made a point, when he's either just completely lying, he's deliberately misrepresenting it, or he just doesn't understand words on a page, and therefore he can read something and then just say whatever he was thinking and then move on as if he's made his point.
Right. Well, I guess that happened, and then.
But Jai can explain the situation. It's good to recap. Jai, what was the original Sheikh Ibn footnote situation?
So Avery, this is when Avery just got started. He went to Balboa Park, and
I think that this may have been like the first time I saw Avery. That may have been it.
Yeah, like, I mean, I knew Avery on Clubhouse, and he's like, yo guys, I'm about to go to Balboa Park, and we're like, all right, cool. So he got like 3 videos on his channel at this point. Like, he's just starting. And this is the third video on his, no, the third confrontation with Uthman, I think it was, or the second one of the two, but like one of his earliest videos. So he goes to Balboa Park, meets with Sheikh Uthman, and they have a discussion about what does Messiah mean in Islam? What does Messiah mean? And he was trying to make it seem like, Jesus is not unique for being the Messiah. In fact, any prophet can be called the Messiah. And Avery's like, that's what Islam teaches? Islam teaches that any prophet can be called Messiah? He's like, yeah. We have messiahs, like it's plural messiahs in Islam. Any prophet can be called Messiah. That's just how it works. Okay, can you show me a source for that? The next week he comes back with a piece of paper that's printed out, which was a printout of a digital copy that he had. He found actually what actually is the plural of the word Messiah in Arabic, but it was a typo in a footnote. And it was like they mixed up like one letter with another letter. They put like one in front of the other instead of the correct order. So he just looked up the word for Messiahs in the plural, found it in a footnote, printed it out, and like, look, this is where it is. He showed like the famous the footnote error, and he told them, look, this says it's the law of the Messiahs, that's what, but really what it was
didn't he also think that it was a hadith, even though it was a footnote? Like, he's quoting it like
so he was reading the hadith as if it was like so-and-so said, so-and-so said, so-and-so said. He starts reading the hadith, then he skips down like the chain of the hadith, then he skips down to the footnote. So he didn't even realize he was reading a footnote. He thought he was reading a hadith. And the hadith, which was actually a footnote, contained a typo. And it actually did have the word messiahs in it, but it was a typo from a modern editor. So anyway, there's no evidence at all. There's no evidence at all anywhere in Islam that you can call anyone other than Jesus the Messiah. But that was his original, footnote mistake, or maybe the one that got him popular. Maybe he's probably made plenty of those in the past, but that's the one that made him popular. So my theory is that, like, since then he doesn't trust digital copies, because that one burned him really bad. Muslims to this day, they bring it up in the context of this conversation, because some Dawa guys were trying to tell him, don't have this conversation. We don't want you talking to Avery. We don't want you talking to Elijah. Vocab, your name came up as well. We don't want you talking to these guys. These guys are blasphemers. Don't give them any, whatever. Don't talk to them. Don't give them any air. So he went and did a discussion anyway, obviously, right? He had the debate anyway. They threw him under the bus. They went crazy. Then they started bringing up this footnote error from 4 years ago that we've been calling him on for years now. But now all of a sudden they're like, yeah, you can't trust him because he doesn't even know that this was a footnote. He said it was a hadith. It was a typo. I'm like, wait. So you guys acknowledge that we were correct about this for years now, and you're only bringing it up now because he did something that you don't like. It's not because of the truth. You're using it as a weapon against him because you don't like him anymore. But if he was still doing what you wanted him to do, you're cool with giving him a pass on these kind of things. So that's how these guys operate.
Yeah, now they're even calling him Sheikh Ibn Ketchup Packet now, admitting that they knew that his hate crime against him was totally fake. But yeah, this is Dawa.
Yeah, Dawa division. That's something that needs to be studied. Dawa division.
Hey, Jai, that would actually be that would be an easy little video titled "Why Sheikh Uthman Doesn't Trust Digital Copies," and then play the clip of him saying that to Vocab. I don't trust digital copies. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. And then you say, "Here's my theory," and just break it down, man.
I could do like a throw to your video as well. We're like, and if you guys want more details on some more footnote errors,
yeah. We can do we do a crossover where we link to each other's videos at the end, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
That's nice. Well, I know you didn't download the Muhammad in the Bible video, which is fine. But if you just play the beginning of this one briefly, it has that little spot that we could talk about the Muhammad in the Bible one if you wanted to, since you're already on it.
You mean this video here that we just watched?
Yeah, that's why I missed. I was dumb.
Yeah, you falsely accused me. Yeah, just like you falsely accused Sheikh Uthman of using the MacArthur Study Bible, and he's clearly using the McCarthy.
No, because I forgot that I had inserted just that little part from the is this you fan, but it's the so one of the prompts was Muhammad is clearly mentioned by name in the Bible. That's what it became. And then the reason when MacArthur came up because the one of the prompts was the Bible was corrupted or not preserved or whatever, and then so that's part of how MacArthur came up in the conversation. That's what I talked about. But the other one was is Muhammad in the Bible basically is what it was supposed to be. So I just showed how he used something that he didn't want to use in the debate. That was kind of what I was showing, and he denied that he used it. And then I showed the screenshot in the debate of him using it.
This you?
Yeah.
All right, here's the beginning again.
Yes.
Is John 1:19 one of those places where the unlettered prophet is described in the Gospels?
I don't believe so.
Then why do you have a video?
That's crazy. Not just saying I don't use that, saying I don't believe that. Interesting.
That says John 1:19. Is this you, fam?
That is me. Yeah.
Where you?
Bruh, there's no way.
The name
So
Muhammad.
just that part right there, part right there. So where he does it, and he has a short of it. So it's like one of his highlights he brought out from 3 years ago. You can hear the audio.
About that comforter that was to come, the prophet. Who was that? In John 1, in verse 19, and he did not deny but confessed, I am not Christ. Then they asked him, what then, are you Elijah? He said, I am not. He said, are you the prophet? And he answered, no. So who's this prophet? That would be after Jesus. That was Jesus. That was Muhammad, peace be upon him, because this is already the time of Jesus. If it was Jesus.
So he uses it. It's a highlight clip he has. Wow. That's how I found it. And what's crazy is the title. I didn't even get to this. The actual title of his short is this: Bible, Jesus predicted Prophet Muhammad. That's the title of the video. First of all, John the Baptist is the one talking, but he has in the title of the video on his. This is on One Message Foundation. This isn't on someone else's channel. The title is Jesus predicted Prophet Muhammad. And then he said he doesn't believe so, that John 1:19 is one of the places where the unlettered prophet is described. Because prior to the clip, I had him read Surah 7. And then I said, who's the unlettered prophet? He said, Muhammad. I said, is John 1:19 one of the places where the unlettered prophet is predicted? He said, I don't believe so. And I said, why do you have this video?
Yeah, over and over again, every conversation is gaslighting. And the point is, he doesn't want his words that he's spoken previously that you've actually prepared a response to. He doesn't want you to be able to use that and actually bring up what he said and respond to it. So just deny it. No, I never said that. And then, oh, okay, well, I guess I don't know what to bring up now because you never said it. Vocab had the receipts.
Yeah.
Vocab brought the receipts to the debate. Nice.
So if you notice, it's like, wait, how did you have that? So I thought he might lie about it. So I literally, before I asked him the question, unlocked my iPad and had it flat to that exact screen because I didn't want to waste any time. So when he said, I don't believe so, I pulled it right up because it was already there.
And I had the full video if I could have played it. And in my video on this, I played the full video of him using this. It's to this old man in a park. But I showed how you can see even just from the screenshot, that's what he's saying. And then his response afterwards, he's like, well, maybe in the past I might have taught that. I might have to look at that again. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was right. I don't know. Like that's what he did after he saw himself, in the video.
So, guys, there are two important lessons here. They don't just apply to Sheikh Uthman, but they especially apply to Sheikh Uthman. Anytime he's quoting a source, especially a footnote, say, let me see it. I want to read it for myself. You always have to do that. And if you're ever going to bring up something that he has said to point out that he's wrong, bring it with you, have it handy, because he's going to deny it. He's going to say he never, ever said that. With that said, we got someone who needs attention here, and shocker. It's AP. Haha, you all thought it was Issa. You're all wrong.
Hey. Wait, with the hat.
What's up with? Oh, whoa! We got. Hey, David, you need one of these.
Well, what's creeping me out is because I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I don't have one of those hats. But what bothers me is every other person on the planet apparently has one of these hats ready.
Yeah.
Hey,
dude.
You like my hat,
nice
Vocab?
hat. Yeah, nice hat, AP. Right on, man.
Thank you. I just decided to put it on today randomly. Yeah.
We're gonna have an apologetic super group called Peaky Blinders Apologetics.
That works.
What's up, AP? Let's take these super chats and then we will check out the next clip here. TikTok, time to late rock. Shameful. It's a Gatsby cap, sometimes called the Newsboy. That makes sense. It does look like those extra, read all about it. Those kids. Uthman has no free will to believe. Why debate him? Lol. Hey, Vocab.
Wow.
Well, he might be one of the elect. He hasn't come to his moment of salvation yet. His Damascus Road experience hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. So take that. Isaiah 1:18. Sweet hat, guys. Looking good. Oh, hi, David. Shameful comment. We were imagining a crew of workers cranking a huge handle with a sling like SeaWorld to get you off the floor. Glad to see you made it, David.
Is he calling you a whale?
Yeah, he is. He's calling me a beached whale.
Jeez.
I'm a robot programmed to say, God bless you, and perfect, and another perfect. This is my jizya for the studio. We've got by order of the Peaky Blessers. Peaky Blessers would actually be cool if everyone rolled with hats like that. Let's see. Peace be upon me. Peace be upon me. Uthman finally stopped running and let those 10 McPologists catch up, mayonnaise some fast runners. This is what happens when you lie constantly. It does. It eventually catches up with you. It's built into Dawah. Just lie, win the point. Vast majority of people are not going to look up what you say. They're just going to trust you. And the one person who bothers to look up what you say, who cares? You duped the majority. That works for a while. It eventually catches up with you, and it's catching up with a lot of Dawah clowns right now.
Hey, David, can you do that thing where you roll over while you're on the ground?
No. So much melanin on the Christian side. That's how you know the vibes were good.
Nice.
Can I speak, dude? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, oh yeah. Guys, half of his time talking was like.
Hey, can I speak? Can I speak, Jai? Can I speak here? Every time I start saying something, Jai has to jump in.
Is when he goes.
Oh no, Vocab. Now, can I speak or not? Come on,
Avery.
Hey, will anyone help? Anyone want to come?
He goes, can I speak? Don't interrupt. And Avery was quiet, and he wasn't even moving. And she goes, he didn't say anything. It looked like he was about to interrupt.
It's like when you shook your head.
Hey, that's like Surah 4 verse 34. And if you fear interruption, then that's all that's necessary. No one needs to actually do anything.
Preemptive strike.
Uthman likes red line books. Uthman likes red letter books because that is the only way his books will be read.
Oh, good one. I get it.
Classic. Someone steal that
Nice.
when we're making videos. Sheikh Ibn McCarthy. Nice. Let's see. Here's an example of 5 source messages. In total, more errors than there are letters in the message, yet somehow the original intent is clear. Xixus, Jixus, Jexus, Jesus, Uthman, Zudit. Yeah. The point there, guys, is you can spot, if someone's making an error here or there, you can spot it and understand what the person's actually saying.
I think it was Daniel Wallace and also David Allen Black. David Allen Black on his website, he has like 210 ways to say Jesus loves Peter or Peter loves Jesus, one of the two, in Greek. And it's like you can add like a definite article, take away definite article, give them both definite articles, change the like it's like all, so you can say the same exact thing in like 200 different ways. And they're just doing that to show that for when it comes to textual variants, most of this stuff can't be translated. It's like grammatical points in Greek that don't really translate into other languages. And so when you have like these big numbers of textual variants being thrown out there, it's not that like there's so much mystery as to what the Bible said. It's like, no, there's just a lot of spelling errors. Basically, that's like 75% of it is like spelling errors.
Yeah, and lots of it's just different spellings. You can spell Greek. It's like English in that there are words that you can spell in multiple ways. You can spell the name John with one N, one nu or two news.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
So I just brought up my little Greek chart. Sometimes they call it the movable nu, as you know. And if you ever look at Greek, audience, you'll see a letter in lowercase that looks like a V. That's called the nu, though, and the way it's pronounced is a nu. And the capital of that Greek letter looks just like our N. But that movable nu, in just what David was saying, there's spelling's not always standardized. Even in America's history, and even now, some words aren't standardized. And so you'll see, for example, glamour or something. But, that movable nu accounts for a lot of variants. Now, there's bigger variants, but so many of them account for that. A big one is Christ Jesus and Jesus Christ. So it's true.
Yeah, and so guys, when you see these, there's so many textual variants and stuff. Yeah, most of them like aren't even like translatable and so on because there are things like, again, John with one N or two N's. And by the way, one of the ways that scribes copy, lots of times you'll have a scribe with a manuscript on one side and he's making a new manuscript on the other side. Another way scribes would copy a text is by having one person read it out loud while you're copying the text. Well, guess what? If someone is reading the text aloud as you're making the copy, you're going to spell things how you spell them. And so guess what? All of those, any difference counts as a textual variant. And one of the things that Dan Wallace points out is the reason we have lots of textual variants is because we have tons of manuscripts. If you pulled the Muslim method and just burned all the manuscripts and stuff, well, guess what? Then you wouldn't have any textual variants. You burned everything except one manuscript. Guess what? You've got 0 textual variants. Does that mean you have a more reliable text than if you had thousands of manuscripts, which allow you to compare and see what goes back to the original? Anyway, just some thoughts there that Muslims never seem to understand.
The lesson here is, David, you need to get one of these hats. The other issue is, I just wanted to say, vocab, well done. Nicely done. And
thank you very
much.
Much.
Everybody should go subscribe to Vocab. Everybody subscribe to Vocab.
Appreciate
Everybody
that.
subscribe to Vocab.
Appreciate you saying you well done. I think Uthman was also well done.
He was. But that's a different well done, guys. That means cooked well done. Cooked well done. Yeah. You know what the problem with those hats is? Every time I've ever been in a store and I was like, it never fits on my giant head. And so I'm assuming they make giant ones or something like that. But every time I've been in a store and I was like, let me try this one on, it just like goes on the top and I have to like kind of stretch it down. Then I think I'm ruining the hat.
You need a 3XL for your head.
Anyway, I'm out. God bless you all. I have all the attention that I needed, and now I need to go. Okay.
Oh, well, it was good to see you, bro.
Yeah. AP just wanted to brag that he had a hat, and I didn't.
Yes. John, see you. God bless.
Take care, man.
I might catch you later.
Have a good one.
We've got a NIT version used to confirm Dawa cherry picking. That is true.
NIT.
NIT, baby, NIT. That's the NIT and the McCarthy Study Bible.
New English translation is good. I recommend people get it for the footnotes because a layman can understand, because it doesn't do it like fancy Greek, like Metzger's commentary on variants. And so it's all these, like, for example, you look and the whole bottom of the page will be just footnotes.
Wow.
And a lot of them are textually related. So the NET is helpful. And if you're going to use a verse, say, against a Muslim or something like that, it's good to check it in the NET first, because usually it'll have variants listed. And so it's helpful to kind of have that discussion. And sometimes it gets into translation issues, but the NET is different, and that the footnotes aren't really as much commentary on the theology or devotional. They're mainly just related to interpretation and translation and variant issues.
Uthman doesn't trust digital copies. Doesn't that imply Muslims tamper with their digital copies like Quran and Hadith websites? Oh, they absolutely do. They'll actually change translations based on us using something like and that's why hard copies do come in handy, because they'll change their translation. And you tell your Muslim friend, hey, here's what the Hadith says. He looks it up. Oh, no, they changed it. And they'll actually accuse you of lying. Muslim cowboys accuse me of lying because when he looked up the Hadith after they changed it, because we were criticizing it, then he looked it up and go, ha, see, David lied. Even when I had a screenshot of the exact same site before they changed it because we were using it, he accused me of photoshopping it and changing it and stuff. But like the Hadith in Sahih Muslim, you go to the hard copy, it says, Aisha says, he struck me in my chest, which caused me pain. You look at it now, it'll say he gave me a shove or something like that. But yep, they change their translations based on us using them. So there is a point. There is a point there as far as the digital copy. It just has nothing to do with anything Sheikh Uthman was saying. Vocab didn't have an edited, a digitally altered copy of the MacArthur Study Bible that he was using to dupe Uthman. But notice, he thinks we think like they do, right? Well, we screw with our sources, so I'm not going to trust this Christian to do it. Well, yeah, we're not like that, buddy.
Yeah, on Sunnah.com, I remember I think it was like earlier this year, maybe even, or no, maybe it was like late last year, I forget. But we were on Sunnah.com, and there's a hadith where Omar says, a man shouldn't be asked why he beats his wife. And on Sunnah.com, they graded it as like Hassan, which is good, acceptable. And after that stream, I think it was like a week later, people brought it to our attention. They're like, hey guys, they changed the grading to weak now. So yep. You go to the website now, and it's like, and this is not just with us. We notice it happens with a lot of people. They'll bring it up, especially in Arabic. They like back in the day on Pal Talk, they used to, the Arab Christians would bring up all these different sources and things like that. Then all of a sudden the website would either go down or be completely edited. And we would just notice this. And it was just a crazy thing. So yeah, Muslims are known for doing this kind of thing with their sources. So it's always great to get like PDF copies of like the scanned versions or physical copies when you're talking to Muslims.
Yeah, and those guys are experts on PDF files. So let's see. Bellew in the debate said 2 Jewish converts to Islam, few of the first, were the ones that said to Muhammad, he is in the Bible. Is that true? Their names are Abdullah ibn Salam and Kabul Akbar. Muhammad was already saying he was in the Bible. Abdullah ibn Salam supposedly confirmed that and said, yeah, he's in there. What's crazy is you got the hadith where he's actually asked, where's Muhammad in the Torah? Where is he? And they quoted Isaiah 42, which is interesting. So they're treating basically anything in the Old Testament as the Torah.
My information is that Amir ibn al-Layth was like one of the first people to give like more expansive arguments for Muhammad in the Bible. That was in the 9th century. That's the first person I got. And then there's another one that's a dialogue between Leo III and Umar II, although people have questions about that. That's the ones I've seen, because it's an interesting discussion. It sounds like, is someone trying to Is someone trying to blame Jews for this? Is that what's going on there? Because
the Jews are responsible for.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey Ash, how you doing? Trying to show off your hat? Now, Ash, did you have to run out and buy that? Did you have to run out and buy that real quick, or you just literally everyone has one of these hats, Andy, except me?
Literally, I stole this from my dad like 5 years ago.
Nice, classic, classic Ash. Dawa Division 130 Al Zut. Yeah, that's 1/30. Can you forward some of this to Vocab? Love the brother. What? Can you forward some of this to Vocab? What? He's right here.
The super chat.
The donation.
Oh, okay. Love the brother. Love all of you. God bless you. All Jesus is Lord. Yes, I will forward all of that to Vocab. And we've got Deception 101 is a class that all Muslim Dawah take. Responding to a yes or no question with a question is chapter 1. Oh, actually, it's in the Quran. Whoa, Jai looks like a shady Russian uncle. you do look a little you do look kind of gangsta. You do look kind of gangsta there, Jai, like I don't know, some sort of crime boss who like would flip out. And anyway. And we got Karen Fisher. Thank you, no comments. My favorite band is Huey Lewis and the News. Oh, the News. Oh, joking about the end. The the movable new. Lies by Ibn Fibbin. Lies come easy to me. How can I find a way to make the text prove what I please? Lies come easy to me. This is the only way for me to prove what I believe. Lies come easy. Guys, that sounds like a song that I don't know. What, anyone know what that song is? Lies come easy to me. Lots of times people modify song lyrics, and I know what the song is, and here I don't know what the song is. Absolutely did not compare you to a whale. What? We thought it was funny. An orca is technically a dolphin.
Oh, wow.
Why is it called a killer whale then? Explain that. And then, no, Belle's point was that those Jews said Muhammad is mentioned by name and exact description she made, and the Ishmaelian dilemma. Okay. No, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think that comes from Ibn Ishaq, though. So Ibn Ishaq claimed that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think Ibn Ishaq claimed that that's where some rabbis had told him that. Mm-hmm. That's my understanding. Because I got it right here in the life of Muhammad, Ibn Ishaq. Yeah. I was told the story of Abdullah bin Salam, a learned rabbi, by one of his family. So it's like second, third hand. He said, when I heard about the apostle, I knew by his description, name, and time at which he appeared that he was the one we were waiting for. So Ibn Ishaq is saying that he was told by one of the family members of the rabbi said this. Oh, that seems a little... How would we grade that? How would you grade that?
Pretty lame. I'd rank it right up there with the miracle claims that came later.
No, but I was asking. I wasn't going to grade it Sahih, but what should we grade it instead of Sahih? You know,
super daif.
Okay.
And then last one here we have, speaking of variants, we need to host a challenge where 5 to 10 Muslims recite the Quran and see if it's the same. Make them back up the one recitation claim. Well, I mean, if you get a Christian if you get a Muslim from Saudi Arabia and one from Morocco and one from, further south in Africa and stuff, you are definitely going to get tons of differences. And any actual Muslim scholar who's telling the truth would acknowledge that, because that's known. All right, Vocab, we want to check out this shorter video here.
I saw somebody in the chat mention a proof of Muhammad in the Bible, and I looked it up, and apparently it's actually true.
Oh, yeah? What is it?
Proverbs 27:22.
I have my McCarthy study Bible here. My McCarthy study Bible.
Pretty funny, actually.
Let another praise you and not your own mouth, a stranger and not your own lips. Proverbs 27:2?
No, 27:22.
Get it right,
Vocab. Oh, sorry. Crush a fool in a mortar with the pestle along with crushed grain, yet his folly will not depart from him.
That's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Hey.
There you go. We found it. You're welcome, Dawa.
There's actually some of these comments are actually funny. Look at one of these things is not like the other come to life, or your annual hipster convention. One of these things is not like the other. Vocab, please do the Muhammad impression. That would have been hilarious if you'd started the debate. Welcome to Muhammad's Boom Boom Room.
Welcome to Muhammad's Boom Boom Room. I am your host, the Prophet Muhammad. Peace be upon me. And with me now is the greatest Sheikh known in Balboa Park, Uthman. Ibn Ketchup Packet.
Is this the same guy? Because I'm not really involved in the like Islam Dawa apologetic stuff. So is this the same guy that we did the debunking stream on Rebecca? It was 4 or 3.
Oh, I think so. Yeah. Because he's been one of the main. He's been one of the main guys. Deceptively.
He just makes stuff up. He did the same thing with like the art scroll. Like Chumash, like the 5 books of Moses. He did the same thing with like the art scroll with Rashi.
Yeah,
they just held it up and said it was there and it wasn't.
Yeah, that was bad. Like pure deception, pure deception. Hey, Vocab, you know what would have been fun? You know what would have been funny when he's having trouble with those footnotes? You turn to the camera and goes, "Cool, as everybody knows, he can't read." That'd have been legend status there. Keep that in your pocket for the future, man.
or what you can do is you can upload your own edition and talk like you're in the room, like Uthman is in the room.
Prophet Muhammad reacts to Vocab's debate with Sheikh Uthman.
This one gentleman, I must say, is quite handsome.
Haven't seen Vocab since he was on the dividing line. Good to see you're alive. Oh, he's alive. All right, we ready to check out this next video, man?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna have to leave in about a minute, so I should just get off now before you start doing the next section.
Yeah, all these guys jumping in just to show off their hats, man.
Showing off the hat. That's why I came. That's funny. That's literally why I came.
Hey, Ash. I was just pointing out that I can never find one to fit my giant head, but your head looks kind of big, so I don't know. That one might. This is a bit
small on me, but it kind of fits. Yeah, you could get something that fits your head.
All right, that's cool. Yeah. All right, man. Catch you later.
See you guys.
Yep.
God bless. Take care.
And next up, we have this fact checking.
Before we, oh yeah. So I'm not sure if we're gonna get to this part because we're doing like in like a different in different segments. But what I understood Vocab was that he ended up saying that basically the idea was that he can show Muhammad's name, like just the name in the Bible, but he wasn't linking it to like the like the Islamic prophet or something. Is that what happened, or what exactly, like what was his thing on the name? Like he was like really
well. So originally it just said Muhammad is described in the Bible, but then it changed to the name Muhammad, and so
I would agree Muhammad's described in the Bible.
Well, I forgot if it was described or predicted or prophesied or whatever, but it was the idea is Muhammad is clearly in the Bible. Mm-hmm. But then it turned to the name. So he would only do Song of Solomon 5:16. That's the only thing he would talk about then.
Which is one of the all-time dumbest arguments ever.
Yeah, I thought it was strange. I thought it was strange that he would retreat from John 1 to go to Song of Solomon 5. How's it any better? I mean, I don't.
Yeah, which is weird.
So
like
his argument with. Go ahead. Oh no! So his argument there was just like, oh, this sounds like Muhammad, so that is prophecy of him. Like, was that basically it?
Which one, John 1 or Song 5?
No, Song of Solomon.
Oh well, they say the Hebrew word there is Muhammadin, just like Elohim and Ephraim, and so I still liked it because I said, "Can you read Muhammad's name in place of that?" And if I would have been a little harsher, I would have had him say, "No, make it plural." I didn't have him make it plural. I probably should have.
Muhammad's,
but he did. Yeah, but he did read it, and it just sounds funny. It says altogether Muhammad,
especially when you read the entire context, talking about how hot this guy is and stuff. But also, I mean, that word, Mahmad, that's used in multiple places. It's used of Ezekiel's wife. She's called his Mahmad. So if they actually want to translate that as a name, that would mean that Muhammad was Ezekiel's wife. So now he's a time-traveling transgender something. And a few verses later, God says, this is in Ezekiel, but God says that he's going to profane the temple that they trust in. In other words, they're going to be conquered. He's telling the people there that they're going to be conquered, and he says he's going to profane the mahmad of their eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning referring to the temple. The Babylonians are going to come and they're going to destroy the temple. But that's if Mahmad is just the name Muhammad, as these guys claim, whenever it's convenient, then God promised to profane Muhammad. And so you end up with some weird stuff.
I asked him, I said, why is Solomon's wife talking about how fine Muhammad is?
Yep. Yeah. She's lusting. She's lusting after him.
Yeah. He just kept on saying, it's a mystical poetry. It's like he just kept on saying that. And I was like, who is the person speaking here? And he just wouldn't engage. He just kept on repeating that it was mystical poetry.
It doesn't sound mystical. It sounds like, oh, my husband is really hot. And he's like, oh, you're really hot. And she's like, oh, you're super hot. And he's like, no, you're mega hot. And
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. And so I said, can you read a little bit further? And he wouldn't do it because I was trying to get him to go just a few lines. It's not later where it says daughters of Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I was like, the daughters of Jerusalem weren't big fans of Muhammad. And he took offense to that. Like, I don't know what you're saying. This guy says that, no. And I said, you mean like the one that poisoned him? I said it kind of offended him.
What? You toss that in there, man?
Yeah. No, I did. But you have to listen to it, but you can hear it if you listen. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, another issue is Song of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 10. So not long after, because these are all very short. So he quotes 5:16, which is at the end of chapter 5. Then chapter 5, verse 10. Chapter 7, verse 10. The bride says, I belong to my beloved, and his desire is for me. His desire is for me. If they're claiming that that's actually about Muhammad and not about Solomon, who's there, then if Muhammad is the beloved and his desire is for this woman had been dead for 15 centuries before Muhammad ever walked the planet. So his desire is for a woman who's been dead 1,500 years.
So you're saying he's also into necrophilia?
He's a necrophile and a time traveling transgender. This is guys, this is Sheikh Uthman's number one argument. That his prophet is in the Bible. He's a time traveling transgender necrophile. I don't see the problem. Weird stuff, man. All right, let's check out this shorter video here. This is a fact check. Let's see what we got here.
Mm-hmm. Then what happened is I went to done and showed you how done refers to Christians worshiping Jesus and even mentions a specific verse. That was strike 2. You're done, just like done.
Oh, come on, man.
You yourself have admitted that you're not a scholar. But James D.G. Dunn, which I'm sure you know who he is, one of the most authoritative and respected scholars. You don't think he is? All right, interesting.
I don't.
All right. Well, interestingly, he actually mentioned that Christians of the earliest generations did not worship Jesus. And in fact, he considered that if Christians of the early generations saw this, they would consider it Jesus idolatry, like idolatry, which simply would mean that Jesus is worshipped, but also would fall short from the worship of due to the one true God of the Father.
Now, on page 28 of James Dunn's book that you brought as well, I bookmarked for you on page 28. If you could just read that top sentence of that second paragraph, please.
Sure.
This is about in relationship to worship of Jesus. What's it say?
Same to all, the fact that such worship language is used in reference to Jesus.
Worship language is used in reference to Jesus,
even if only occasionally, is very striking. This would... I don't know, what, you gotta go to the bathroom or something, bro? This would have been entirely unusual and without precedence in the Judaism of the time. You want me to keep reading, or?
So, was worship language used in relationship to Jesus? First question. Was it unusual? Second question. And then if you could read the last two sentences of that same paragraph.
Okay. It's interesting you want me to skip over a lot.
You can read the rest if you want.
Okay,
that's fine
no
with
problem.
me. It's not going to help you, though.
What last two sentences? Where do you want me to start?
The same paragraph you just in that book for.
In fact, that this definition is in the wider Mediterranean world. The fact that this definition could be used as casual and as taken for granted, as it is in, I could be used.
1 Corinthians 1:2.
Yeah, I just has the number one.
It means first.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Corinthians 1:2 assuredly indicates that invocation.
Jai, if you wanted to make a video, Sheikh Uthman doesn't know the very basics of anything. That would be. You've got tons of material, man. You got tons of material. I backed it up. I backed it up because it's too funny.
No way.
Corinthians 1:2 assuredly indicates that invocation of the Lord Jesus in prayer was a regular feature in early Christian worship.
Early Christian what?
Worship.
Was Jesus worshipped?
Again. So do you want me to answer? According.
One of the most interesting things here is Sheikh Uthman normally only wants to do anything if he's surrounded by his fans who are cheering him on. And all of a sudden he's in a room full of Christians, and man, he does not like hearing their reactions to these things.
This, yes.
Yeah.
He actually mentioned that Christian.
What's up?
No, I have a question for Vocab. But how did you get? So you just had all these references, like you knew because some of these things, like okay, like you have them in your Logos Bible software. But how did you know like where to go with these things? Because you went to for the John MacArthur Study Bible one, and then for this one, like. You like looked them up on the spot, right? Like, how did you know where to go with these?
Well, so in Logos, since he kept on saying scribal error, I looked for all the entries related to scribal error in the John MacArthur Study Bible, and I found what he was talking about. And I saw the 700,000 thing was wrong, and he muddied that up, but I didn't want to focus on that. And I found a definitive place where that was spoken of a way that was opposite of what he was trying to say. So I just had him read that spot. Mm-hmm. And so I was the second to last person that went. So that's how that happened. I did not plan on doing this. I didn't plan on doing it, but it's kind of like, I don't want to be Paul here, but it's kind of like when Paul was in Athens and he was disturbed by all the idols he saw there. Mm-hmm. I had this other thing I was going to do, and I was disturbed by Uthman's misrepresenting of sources so bad I could not help but start with this. I had to. And I had time, but I didn't have full time because if you noticed, I didn't know exactly where to tell him in the MacArthur Study Bible to find it. That was a tricky thing to line up. But with the done, I actually downloaded that in the studio. So I digitally downloaded it in the studio.
Yeah. No, I was thinking something similar to Jai, like you'd seen him use it before, so you came prepared if he tried it again. Vocab's just looking this stuff up in real time and being able to expose him. That's interesting because we've pointed out as we've reviewed these over the past couple of days. He would totally get away with this stuff because it's kind of hard on the fly when someone brings something up to be looking up and reading, going through and reading and finding the references and stuff to see if someone's representing things accurately. But like when I saw, I think 2 days ago where he's talking about Dunn, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense that Dunn would like say that because I mean we know about the early Christians, what's going on here, but Vocab actually looked it up. And not looking good for Sheikh Uthman here.
But there was a little bit more to it. So a few things briefly. So I knew the experts on early Christian worship from biblical data and sometimes using historical sources are Hurtado and Bauckham. And so, in fact, Dunn dedicates his book to them. Now, he's basically disagreeing with a lot of their stuff in it, but he values them as sort of dialogue partners, as scholars do or whatever. But Dunn is basically saying they're overstating the case. So he is writing somewhat contrary to Hurtado and Bauckham. They're not on the same page because Dunn has some. He is a genius. He's passed now, well respected, but he has what I would consider some fuzzy definitions, bad theology, and he intentionally limits his sources to match closer to critical scholarship. And so his data set is more limited than it should be. So when he says New Testament data, he doesn't include hardly any of John. He doesn't include a lot of Paul's letters.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. So then what he does is, and if you notice the reference he gave was for 1 Corinthians because critics love them. Yeah. They know that's authentic or whatever. So what I did is I said, what did Hurtado say about this book? And so I basically started reading through Hurtado's review while the book was downloading. And then once I got Hurtado's spot, what he said, then I went back to the Dunn book and found what Hurtado was talking about. And I was like, and I had an option of a couple places to use. And I was like, that one right there. that's the best spot to use. And I said, I'll have him read that. And that one, I knew where it was quicker. It was easier to line up. And so boom, 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 boom. And what Dunn is saying is, even though he generally thinks Christians didn't directly worship Jesus in the earliest time, he's saying even in the earliest time, you can still find examples where they sometimes do.
Worship language.
Yeah, but see, he also misrepresented. I don't have time to get to all this. He wasn't saying, Dunn was like saying they engaged in Jesus-olatry. Dunn said Jesus-olatry because what he was saying is there are examples where Jesus replaced God. Because Dunn writes in a way that a lot of Unitarians like. Dunn's Christology and his Trinitarianism is sort of questionable. And so he writes in a way that sort of separates Jesus from God. And so he's saying, well, you do have Jesus-olatry, though. By that, Dunn is saying some Christians did worship him in a way that looks like God, but basically Dunn is commenting on it, saying they shouldn't be doing that. So what I'm saying by this is he's totally not understanding Dunn as a source, and he doesn't understand the counterexamples that Dunn himself gives in his own book. And so he's overstating his case. And then the one Dunn brings up is 1 Corinthians 1:2, where even Dunn is saying it is weird that they so casually and sort of assume that this worship language is appropriate for Jesus. And so Dunn says sometimes the early Christians did worship Jesus in his book that says they mainly didn't. But Uthman made it seem like that was a later development because he said the earliest generations didn't. Dunn wasn't saying that. So I'm just showing how he disputes it.
Yeah, no, that's great that you did that because, yeah, like David said, we were talking about that as like for a future rule for anyone who's going to debate this guy. Look up anything that he quotes, any footnote, read it with him or read it after him, and make sure that he doesn't just like, close the book and just, it's over. You have to do that stuff. So the fact you actually did it on the spot, that was really good. Because he needs someone to do that. Like you need someone there that just dedicated to just doing that. Every single time you quote something, you just have someone there looking everything up.
Yeah, and that's why, especially in these formats where he's gonna be debating multiple people, whoever's going last or next to last, you know what your job is. You know what your job is. Right. Start looking up everything he claimed. 1 second, guys. Apparently, this is Everyone Needs Attention Day, and every time I say it, they think it's going to be this guy, and he doesn't even have the right hat, guys. He doesn't even have the right
wrong
hat.
hat on, man.
Wrong hat. Wrong hat, Isa.
Hi.
How's it going? All right. What's up?
Oh, I said wonderful. Oh. I love this 10 versus 1. I think Vocab Malone did an amazing job here.
Well, you said wonderful. You're supposed to say, okay, perfect. So get it right next time.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
All right, let's jump back into this video. Let's see.
Was Jesus worshipped?
Again, so do you want me to answer? According to this, yes. He actually mentioned that Christians.
Let's back this up, guys.
It's the same book.
Yeah, I know.
Gotcha.
Let's see.
Corinthians 1:2 assuredly indicates.
Matter of fact, let's go all the way back here just so we can see him saying, I could be.
Yeah, look at what's on the screen versus what he says. It's a slog. It's a slog.
Yeah, guys, look at what Sheikh Uthman is actually reading. It's on the screen, and listen to how he's reading it.
Paragraph you just sent out a book for.
In fact, that this definition is in the wider Mediterranean world. The fact that this definition could be used as casual and as taken for granted, as it is in, I could be used.
1 Corinthians 1:2.
Yeah, I just has a number 1.
It means first.
Okay, gotcha. Corinthians 1:2 assuredly indicates the invocation of the Lord Jesus in prayer was a regular feature in early Christian worship.
Early Christian what?
Worship.
Was Jesus worshipped?
Again, so do you want me to answer? According to this, yes. He actually mentioned that Christians of the earliest generations did not worship Jesus.
Was Jesus worshipped?
According to this, yes. But
the same book, guys. The same book. Dude. Yes. Was Jesus worshipped according to the book you cited to show that Jesus was not worshipped? Was he worshipped in the book you brought up and brought to the debate? Yes. But I don't know where he's going with this. Hang on. I just have to point out here, guys. We were talking earlier about how it's kind of screwed up to allow Sheikh Uthman to come in later and add fact checks and to give conclusions after everyone else has left, but to pretend that they're still there in the room when he's calling them out and so on. I take it all back. I think the moderator felt really, really sorry for him. And they're like, we need to help him with all this embarrassment here. So let's try and help him out a little. Otherwise, he is never going to do anything like this again, where there are actual Christian apologists there, ready to pull up the sources to expose him for what he's saying. Wow. Let's see.
Previous generations did not worship Jesus.
Was Jesus worshipped?
According to this, yes. But in the same book that you read, and the same book that you're quoting, that you're now trying to jump away from what I read earlier, it says Christian worship as defined too simply as the worship of Jesus, for that would emerge as an inequity is taken seriously. It would soon become evident that Christian worship can deteriorate into what would be called Jesus-olatry, like idolatry. It is not simply into the worship of Jesus, but the worship that falls short of the worship of the one true God, the Father, the Lord of Jesus Christ. I use the term Jesus-olatry as an important sense parallel to that of idolatry. So if you're going to quote him, then continue the quote.
That means they worship Jesus as God.
Right?
How did anything he just read help him at all?
It did.
Like he just read it. It didn't help him at all.
It didn't.
And he says, "So why are you running? Why are you running from this?"
Continue
that
the
means
quote
they worship
because,
Jesus as God.
Right?
That's what it's saying, though.
Hold
So
on,
that
let
would
him
be
finish, let him
again.
finish. I
It's
hear
not.
you.
But you're going to
I hear you.
filibuster.
It's not.
I know what's happening.
I'm reading it. I'm not filibustering anything, right? Here, as Israel prophets pointed out on several occasions, the calamity of idolatry is that of idols in substitution of God. So if somebody takes the worship of God, it would take away from Jesus. Takes the place of God.
Take away
the
from
worship
Jesus?
due is to God and absorbed by the idol. The danger of Jesus-olatry is the place of one creator, God, Jesus absorbing the worship of the true one creator. Now,
right, and it says they were doing that.
Hold on.
Creator.
Yes, exactly. So this is Dunn's commentary on the issue. That's important to understand. Number two, I have the book that he's reading on the screen. He is not reading it right.
No,
So
he's not.
But yeah, he's not. If you go to the conclusion of Dunn's book, did the first Christians worship Jesus? He's not reading it right. Now, I do think it's honest mistakes because I heard him with other places, but he's not reading it totally what it says because you can't really make out what he's saying. But yeah, the whole point is Dunn is saying, well, yeah, these folks substituted Jesus with God. He's saying they worshiped them. In the book that he's mainly saying they mainly didn't, but then he's saying, but sometimes they did. Notice he says it deteriorated into that. So that's his commentary on it. But even in the book, he's dealing with the data. So
because he mentions
okay, let's
no,
let
me finish. Let me finish.
Kind of a long
Let me finish
it was
the
a long
quote.
paragraph.
Okay,
What's
go ahead.
the is
It's
there a
just
build up
one-liner.
on it?
Yeah, it's
And
one-liner.
Okay, let's
inclusionary?
so one liner
Again,
in there. Go ahead.
he goes through many ideas of whether they're worshiping or not, but in the conclusion, in the end, he says the first Christians did not worship Jesus as such. Worship is always and should always be offered to the glory of God the Father. That's the conclusion.
And that's why you got to read the whole book.
Yes, I did read the whole book.
Yeah.
And
you didn't
cannot-
have that section highlighted, did you?
I didn't have it
I
highlighted.
highlighted it for you. You're welcome.
I didn't highlight the whole book, but that doesn't mean I didn't read the whole book.
Right.
When an author goes through a book, he presents this side and that side. Christians of the earliest generations did not worship Jesus, the Lord Jesus.
Was Jesus worshipped?
According to this, yes. But his conclusion is where the end is. Thank you.
That's not what
rolled
Dunn was
over.
doing there. Dunn was commenting on I Corinthians. That's what he was
Are we
doing
talking
there.
about Muhammad in the Bible, or are we talking about worshiping
Oh, well,
Jesus?
don't bring Dunn if you don't want to talk about Dunn. Now, the point
We're on a prompt that you're running from.
Hold on.
All right.
Let's find your points,
Okay,
Gab.
so the point was to show you misuse sources.
The point was that you misused sources.
I just want to say for one what how do you say I couldn't? What do you say? Is that I couldn't?
I Corinthians. Yeah.
I couldn't. Yeah. Well, 1 Corinthians 1:2 is actually yeah. That's a great verse to actually show the deity of Jesus because it's calling out to the church and it's saying, what is the church? It's defining the church and the saints as people who invoke the name of the Lord Jesus. And when you go like all throughout the Old Testament, you're calling upon the name of the Lord, calling upon the name of the Lord, calling upon the name of the Lord. Now in the New Testament, the identification of the church are those who identify
calling on the name
Jesus
of Jesus
as Lord. It's like so yeah, it's like a beautiful passage to go to show that the literary definition of the church is those who are defined by those who invoke Jesus as Lord.
And that's apparently one of the things that made the Apostle Paul, before he was a Christian, flip out, which means that was within the first 2 years. Within the first 2 years, because Paul converts about 2 years after the death and resurrection of Jesus. So he was persecuting them before that. One of the things that's making him flip out is that they call on the name of Jesus as they call on the name of God.
Yes.
That means it's not something that came about a century later at the Council of Nicaea or something, guys. That's really, really early stuff.
Yes. And Dunn even says this was unusual for within the Judaism of the time. He makes that exact point. Later on in the conclusion, I just want to read a line. This is Dunn's book. And if you read Dunn's book, you get a sense he's trying to kind of bridge the gap between Muslims. He mentions several times Muslims in his book. I'm not saying that's what the book's about, but it seems like he wants to like make the gap lesser because he mentions it. For example, that claim remains a claim too far for Jews and Muslims. And it was right after saying who Jesus is. Now listen to this. But the claim that Christians make is that the character of God has never been revealed so fully and profoundly as in Jesus, in his mission, in his cruel death on the cross, and in his resurrection and exaltation. Now listen to this. It is because Jesus died as he did that Christians find it necessary to speak of the God who suffers, even of the crucified God. That's in Dunn's book.
Wow.
That's in Dunn's book.
Wow.
Now,
hey, one second, before you continue, Vocab. Everyone here, Vocab, Jai, Isa.
Yep.
Raise your hand if you actually believe that Sheikh Uthman read that book. No one thinks he. And I read this. I read this book. I have no clue what anything is saying, and I don't even know what First Corinthians is. But yeah, I read it, man. Of course, I read all these scholars. Oh my goodness.
Let me just read one more line because I just want to show
You can read all you want, man.
This is the last thing. So I'm.
All we do
I just
is
want
read.
everyone to see. If you look up liberals, they'll talk about Dunn as an evangelical. Earlier in his career, Dunn was a little more conservative. Dunn really. He's barely an evangelical. He is a respected New Testament scholar, but by the end of his career, he was denying a lot of the New Testament and writing as if Jesus and God essentially were separate from what I can tell. And so they'll say that, but he's not a sort of flaming liberal, but there's issues there. So he does say he has reservation about the issue of did the earliest Christians worship God. His book is sort of trying to act as a counterweight to Hurtado and Balcom's work, which clearly says yes, yes. But even within that, let me just read this line. Worship language and practice at times do appear in the New Testament in reference to Christ. Now listen to this. Christ is a subject of praise and hymn singing, the content of early Christian worship, more than the one to whom the worship and praise is offered. So you just see it's a more, he makes it more complicated, but Uthman was really overstating and misusing what Dunn said, basically.
Yeah.
Wow. Not surprising, guys. I'm trying to think here. Have we ever seen Sheikh Uthman quote a source accurately? I'm trying to think.
that'd be a good challenge to find like one example of that.
It's pretty weird. So guys, again, you're ever going into a discussion with Sheikh Uthman, you demand that he show you everything that he's actually supposedly quoting. You got to read it for yourself. There's no other way around it. Hey, Isa disappeared. What is that? He was ashamed of his lack of hat. God promised Muhammad to Solomon, obviously. Yeah, they have to go there. Solomon had a flying carpet, army of birds. Why couldn't he have time traveling Mo as a wife? You see the proof. That is a pretty good case there. Other Muslims. Okay, perfect. Uthman, can I speak? Seems he hasn't updated his Dawah speak yet. Yeah, you're supposed to just say, okay, perfect. That chat predicted Isa's beanie correctly. Absolutely. Absolutely. And let's see. The beautiful irony is that Sheikh Uthman was trying to discredit everyone's arguments at the start of each session. Then Vocab totally destroyed Uthman's sources at the beginning of his session. Yeah, we noticed that he was getting away with certain things. He was getting away with things because that's just that, guys, that's an ability you have in every debate. I could walk into a debate and I could say, Professor Uppingforth of Oxford has agreed with everything I've said. How do you respond? I could be totally making it up, but it's going to be hard to refute right there off the cuff. And so some people take advantage of that and use that opportunity to deceive, and it catches up with you. It was a great debate, and the phone flip was awesome. Is that you? Was great. Yeah. I cannot connect my cell phone to my computer, but Cab Malone can write a dissertation in real time. I am unworthy. Yeah, dissertation there. And down the context, save the lies. Oh, what's that? What's that line from Godfather?
Oh,
keep the cannolis.
Take the cannoli, leave the gun.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. In the context, save the lies. Duke Uthman, Lies Come Easy by Sheikh Ibn Fibbin is the newest short on my channel based on words by F.R. David. All right, there you got it. That's on Loaves of Bread, guys. Then you see the Christian apologists are turning on David by not letting him know about their hat club. Yeah, they all came up with this plan. Conspiracy. Dear brother Vocab, you did so well. Dawa gangsters misuse sources all the time. I loved the part where you pointed out to him that point about the MacArthur Study Bible and Dunn's book. Yeah, definitely got him burned up there. And then, is it just me, or does Uthman kind of have a Charles Barkley, Kermit the Frog type of voice? Charles Barkley? Kermit the Frog, yeah. Charles Barkley. I guess if you combine them, maybe. All right. Hey, yo, Vocab, I know you couldn't stay long, so what's your time situation here?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to leave in 5 to 10 minutes, if that's all right. I'm glad I was invited to the debate. I was so proud of everyone there. And I still give a shout out to him, because I'm telling you, as a debater and stuff, it's not easy to go by yourself into a room where no one there sort of on your theological side, and for 4 or so hours do that. So I still say shout out. The fact he did that, and a lot of people wouldn't do that. So that deserves some level of credit. Now, obviously, I have strong objections to his methodology. I'll put it that way, to his methodology. And I hope it's a learning experience for him, where he'll look again at John 1, since he said he would, and he'll look again more carefully at sources and stuff. That's what I'm hoping. I'm trying to have an optimistic attitude. But for the Christians, I want them to see they can do this. And let's say you can't do it. Honestly, I'm not trying to. I think you can always say now to him, remember when Vocab showed that he didn't use his sources right? So we have to look into this. I think you can say that now whenever there's a source brought up, because you have these examples in real time.
Yeah, you definitely can. And we would certainly hope for the best, but this was a wild situation where Avery embarrassed him, humiliated him so much towards the end of last year and the beginning of this year by, Sheikh Uthman last year was pretending that everyone was running from him, and he was just telling his followers, yeah, I'm trying to set up the debate. No one will debate me. No one will debate. And every last one of us is saying, let's set up a debate. Let's set up a debate. Let's set up a debate. He wouldn't do it. And he got to the point where he would think that Avery's not around, not anywhere close to him. And he'd say, and Avery, if you want to debate me, show up to the mosque tonight. And then Avery would actually go and show up at the mosque, and they wouldn't let him in and stuff. It was such humiliation that Muslims were even calling him coward. And we heard in some of the Dawa leaks from the past couple days that when people were telling him recently, hey, don't go debate these Christians, he was saying, I need some redemption. I need some redemption for what's happened. My channel's dying. I have to get back in here. And so he has to do this. And so he must have thought, hey, it's just 3 topics. I can modify them at the last second. I can demand all sorts of favoritism in various ways and prepare really, really well for things I'm going to bring up. And yet the things that he was bringing up, that he showed up for his prompts that he modified at the last second, he still got burned up on them. So Vocab talks about a learning experience. I don't know what you do here apart from realize your entire method that you've been using for years and that is successful if you catch Christians who are completely off guard. It doesn't work in situations like this. It's just going to blow up in your face and lead to absolute humiliation. So I hope he learns that, but historically they just keep doing the same thing. I don't know what to do, man. Dawa sucks. Dawa sucks. All right. Final thoughts on anything, Jai?
I thought that was really good. I'm gonna have to watch the entire segment because I actually was holding off because I wanted to.
Jai, if you want to hang out and we'll watch it, we can. It's up to you, man.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. Vocab, anything you want to say before you leave? You kind of already summarized and stuff, but anything you want to say before you leave? And we're gonna watch it.
Yeah, if you're going to watch the Muhammad in the Bible section, because that's a section we didn't cover yet. If you're able to, I'd be curious what your guys' thoughts are. Because we saw the
we're going to watch the actual section of the debate from the debate. I have your section of the debate cut. Yeah.
Oh, I got you. The Muhammad in the Bible is the third thing that I brought up. So if you watch the beginning, it starts off with MacArthur, then it goes to Dunn, and then it goes into Muhammad in the Bible, which is the first question I asked.
So since we've already seen some of that, we could kind of just fast forward through.
I could probably find it real quick if you guys want to talk about something.
We'll just scroll through and see what you guys are talking about, man.
David, have you guys covered your debate or talked about your debate with, you know what I mean? Do you have it from Sean Kelly's channel, or what channel do you have it from? I'm saying, like, your video you have is from which channel?
Wherever the main one was posted, the Sheikh Uthman versus 10 Christians or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, Digital Social Hour. Okay. 652,000 views is doing pretty good.
Nice.
Yep.
Let me see. It's correct. So 225.18. 225. If you go to 225,
I just have your section cut out. I have your section.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I don't know exactly. But
yeah,
it's right after.
We're just gonna go through
right after I say the point is that you misuse sources. Then it moves into Muhammad in the Bible, and I'd be curious what you guys say about it. There's a lot of stuff I did not say that I could have. It's just there's simply no way because people are like, you should have said this, and they're almost all the suggestions people gave, they were right. It was a way to do enough, and you try to figure out which one to say.
Huh. Yeah, that always happens after debates. Yeah, you should have said this. You should have said that. Should have said that.
Well, in the sense of there's no way to deal with it all, basically. So you have to kind of be like, okay, which of these things will I do? What's best here? What's gonna, and you're making the decision on the spot. But yeah, I'd love to hear how it goes with you guys. What you guys come up with.
Cool.
The reaction in the studio is pretty funny when I bring up the screenshot of him. It's pretty funny.
No, that was.
And then I get a little smart aleck at the end. If you watch his thing when he's rambling, I'm showing the studio the screenshot. I'm like doing that.
Okay.
I'm doing. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know if the camera's on me at all when I'm doing it though. So like it might be on him because he's the one talking, but I'm showing the whole studio the video of him saying it. By the way, David, guess who was there? Tazariak.
Oh, your buddy.
He showed up just to watch it.
That's actually pretty cool. I like that dude, man. He's pretty funny. Yeah, because he debated Anthony and IP at the Seek and Share Truth conference we were just at, and he was at my first debate with Jake. But he's actually cool because like IP can respond and stuff but he'll actually crack up laughing even if he's being criticized and stuff. So I don't know. He seems pretty cool.
He's got a good sense of humor.
Is that why Uthman said that they hired extra security? Did you think that he was a security guard or something?
That's possible.
Okay.
it was two ISUPK members. It was Tazariak with one other guy. It's possible that's what he thought. They left early though. They didn't stay the whole time.
Wait, they actually debated. I think actually. So he knows. I think he knows who. I think they know who each other are.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
All right, y'all. God bless. Thanks for having me on. And
God bless.
Catch you later, man.
Good to see you in Cleveland, David. And hopefully I'll meet you in the Hat Club one day, my man.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Started off with too much cargo, so we got rid of Benedict Arnold. All right, now we can get to the real stuff. And now we don't have to Now we don't have to pretend like Sheikh Uthman isn't just crushing these guys.
We're gonna be unbiased. Now we're gonna be unbiased.
Yeah, now we don't have to. Yeah, Vocab demanded beforehand. He's like, and you have to only say that I'm crushing him, or I'll leave instantly. And we're like, okay, we want Vocab on, so we'll go along with that. Anyway, Jai, ready to check this out?
Let's do it.
Let's check this out.
The name Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is clearly mentioned in the Bible.
Right on.
Thank you.
A couple of the sources you had that you used earlier, were we able to turn to that John MacArthur study Bible you had?
Sure.
There's
there
something in 1 Kings 9:1 that
Vocab did go off topic here.
It seemed like when
point.
you went there, you said that there was like 700,000 scribal errors, I think is what you said.
I did not say that.
You did say that.
There, but you said
No, that
you
is-
said it
that is-
mentioned about it.
Can I respond to what I said?
Well, I was just going to see if you could read this and then you could comment on it.
I don't know if, yeah. I
From
don't
the
know.
source you used in regards to...
All right, so we've checked that out. What else? Fast forward a little.
That when it talks about the sources of the Book of the Kings...
Where do you want me to read?
The thing is, I was looking for the page.
Let's see.
You're saying MacArthur is saying there are scribal errors.
MacArthur Study Bible.
Oh, so this is actually a few minutes of them talking. Let's see.
But do you see where it is in the book, too? I just want to make sure.
I see.
Okay, all right.
Well, it already happened. It already happened.
Yeah, you're not rolling over anybody, bro.
hold on.
Calm
It's just
down.
the first roll.
Don't flatter
Gab,
yourself.
You made a point. Let him.
Hang on.
Now
Well,
let's
they
go
were
to
talking
James
about authority.
Dunn.
No, hold on.
No,
Hold on. Let me finish now because you can't just roll over me. No.
Hold
Well,
on.
it already happened. It already
Yeah,
happened.
you're not rolling over anybody, bro.
hold on.
Calm
It's just
down.
the first roll.
Don't flatter
Gab,
yourself.
you made
People
a
are done.
point.
Look
Let
at people in the
him- let him at
background, guys.
least-
They're
Thank
cracking
you.
up.
All
But
right.
I swear you
Again,
made that an
again.
authority earlier.
No, the issue of authority was the NIT Bible.
No,
which
no,
is
no,
the-
no.
That's
No,
any-
you said okay. Now I see, guys.
can
Now I
show you
see
the
why.
verse that I read from.
Now I see why Vocab wanted to show the videos where they actually include the flashback, because you don't get them here, right? You'd actually
Yeah.
scroll back through the entire debate. He actually put him together. He actually put the clips together of Sheikh Uthman, what he said earlier, and they're just totally gaslighting right now. So let me fast forward here a little more. Let's see.
Worship of Jesus. What's it say?
Same to all, the fact that such worship language is used in
Okay,
reference
so that's the done section. Let's see.
rolled
Dunn was
over.
doing there. Dunn was commenting on I Corinthians. That's what he was
Are we
doing
talking
there.
about Muhammad in the Bible, or are we talking about worshiping
Oh, well, don't
Jesus?
bring Dunn if you
Hold
don't
on.
want to talk about Dunn. Now,
Let's-
the point is
We're on a prompt
Okay.
that
Hold
you're running
hold on,
from.
Hold on.
All right.
Let's find your points,
Okay,
Gab.
so the point was to show you misused sources. Now, regarding this source,
I absolutely did not.
Surah 7, 157, is Muhammad the unlettered prophet?
Surah?
Surah 7, 157, is Muhammad the unlettered prophet?
He doesn't know 7-157?
Whoa.
You hear that? He didn't know what Vocab's asking about 7-157. He's like, sir, what?
What?
What? Hang on. That would be like your go-to verse for even thinking about this prompt. Hang on.
Show you misused sources. Now, regarding this source,
I absolutely did not.
Surah 7, 157, is Muhammad the unlettered prophet?
Surah?
Surah.
He's looking up
Whoa.
7-157?
That's crazy. How does he not know that? This is a Dawa guy? What?
And even if you didn't know what he's talking, the unlettered prophet, you don't know what he's talking about?
Like, where did he get the inspiration for this prompt? the prompt is about Muhammad being in the Bible, and it's like he's like, "What's this? What's this surah you're speaking of Muhammad being in the Bible? I've never heard of this." It's like
And
this is your
he's sitting there
prompt.
pulling his phone out to look up what the
That's
Quran said. That's
crazy.
that's the main verse. The other one's 61:6, but that's the main one. That's where it says that Jews and Christians find Muhammad written down with us in the Torah and the Gospel. And he doesn't know what Vocab's talking about there.
Whoa.
I don't know.
Why does he think Muslims say that Muhammad is in the Bible? His prompt is inspired from this verse. Like, what?
That's nuts, man. That is nuts. What's surah? He's going on his phone. All right, let's just watch.
That's
7,
crazy.
157, is Muhammad the unlettered prophet there?
The Prophet
Yes, to look
noting
it
that the Jews and Christians find him ascribed in their scripture. Yes, Surah Al-Anfal, yes.
Okay. Does it say that the description of the unlettered prophet will be found in the Torah and the Gospel?
Let's bring up the surah because I don't want to misquote things for you.
Wait,
No, it's
did
the
he just
same
say?
place.
Did he just say Anfal?
Mm-hmm.
No. Hold on. See, I gotta. That Anfal is
that
chapter 8.
8, yeah. That's
Yeah. What the heck, dude? What this guy? What? What the heck? No way.
Hang on, let's see.
Prophet will be found in the Torah and the Gospel.
Let's bring up the surah because I don't want to misquote things for you.
But no, it's the same place.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up the actual surah.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me back this up. This is crazy, man.
He said, "Bring up the actual
57,
surah,"
there's
and he's
Muhammad
about to quote a
unlettered
different surah.
Yeah, he's going to
No
bring up the
way.
wrong surah, man. Hang on.
Prophet there.
The Prophet noting that the Jews and Christians find him ascribed in their scripture. Yes, Surah Al-Anfal, yes.
Okay. Does it
What?
say that the description of the unlettered prophet will be found in the Torah and the Gospel?
Let's bring up the surah because I don't want to misquote things for you.
But no, it's the same place.
Yeah,
He doesn't know that it says Torah and Gospel. Oh, my goodness,
No
guys.
way.
This is crazy,
guy can't be
guy.
real.
This is insane.
This cannot be real. I even look at Elisha. He's like, "There's no way. There's no way." Like, look at his face. Like, there's no way this is real. This is crazy.
Every Christian in that room knows what Surah 7 verse 157 says, and Sheikh Uthman is like pulling it up for the first time apparently.
Yeah.
And he's the one who
and-
wanted to debate this topic, and he didn't even know the main verse that it's all based on, that this entire argument's based on. Anyway, all right, let's see.
bring up the actual surah.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, you want me to read it from the book?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Surah 7, 157 right
I
there.
got you.
And I just want to let everyone know you gave this to me when I was in San Diego, so
You're
thank you.
welcome.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Look at this, guys. Look. He asks for the book because he can't even find it on his phone because he's in the wrong
No.
chapter.
Oh my. This is insane. This is insane. I'm really happy we watched this though, because this is actually like wow.
I don't know. How did Vocab not bring this up when we were talking about it? Like, you didn't even know what Surah 7 verse 157 is.
Man.
All right, here we go.
It's circle
So
round.
I
love
brought it to here for that reason.
Surah 7, verse
157.
157. And they are the ones who followed the messenger, the unlettered prophet, whose description they find in their Torah and the gospel. He commands them to do good and forbid them from evil, permits them of what is lawful and forbids them from what is impure, and relieves them from their burdens and the shackles that are bound them. Only those who believe in him, honor him, and support him. And I just want to clarify, honor him doesn't mean worship him. And follow the light and sent down to him will be successful. Yes.
Is John 1:19 one of those places where the unlettered prophet is described in the Gospels?
I don't believe so.
Then why do you have a video that says John 1:19? Is this you,
Okay.
fam?
That is me. Yeah.
Where you said that was the prophet they were waiting for?
Go ahead. Are you?
This is your video.
I'll let you continue.
That's you, right?
Jai, talking about a video like
Dude, yeah.
Sheikh
This is
Uthman not
crazy.
knowing what he's talking about with basic Christianity. This is basic Islam here. He can't even say, well, I don't like this translation. Vocab points out I got this Quran from you.
Right. Wow.
Oh my goodness, man. Wow. This kind of reminds me of when I talked to him about the Islamic dilemma, and he was like, but earlier in the same chapter it says they wrote the book with their own hands. And I said, if you show me that earlier in the same chapter, I will bow down and recite the Shahada. And then he's trying to find it, and I go, you're thinking of Surah 2, dude. You're thinking of Surah 2, verse 79. And he goes there and he pretends, look, no, he has to convert. No, he has to convert. And it's, oh my goodness, dude. This is weird.
If you're done with the theatrics, I will respond
Well, it
to
literally
you.
says that is the Prophet Muhammad, and it's from John 1:19.
I'll just wait for the theatric to finish before I can
So
respond.
it's weird you said no, but your video says otherwise.
Can I-
So that's cotton.
Should
that's
I
cotton
respond?
740.
Your lips say no, but your video says yes, dude.
Get
So
to the
check
point,
this
Kev.
out.
There is no point. He just wants to run from the actual.
It's funny.
pod-
I figured you might do that, but that's why.
He says he wants to run from the actual vocab has to bring up the Quran verse that the entire argument's based on,
Yeah.
which Sheikh Uthman doesn't even know. And then because it's Muhammad in the Bible, vocab brings up John 1:19-21, because that's what Sheikh Uthman brought up in a video. Sheikh Uthman, no, I never said that. I never said that. This you? And vocab's running from the topic. What is this, man? This was disastrous for him, man.
I had to have that screenshot because I knew you would deny it. Now, if that's the case, why
He said I had that screenshot because I knew you would deny it. This is crazy. He's getting burned up. I backed up a little, Lizzie.
Screenshot because I knew you would deny it. Now, if that's the case, why does Peter apply this passage of Deuteronomy 18, the prophet is being asked about in John 1:19, to Jesus? Why does Peter apply it to Jesus if it's supposed to be Muhammad, according to the Sheikh in this video?
Are you done with your question?
Yeah. According to
First
Sheikh
thing,
Uthman.
I may have helped.
Did you hear what he said? According to the Sheikh in this video, which is Sheikh Uthman, but he's saying it's not him. So apparently he's got a twin brother who also... Vocab's funny, man.
Apply this passage of Deuteronomy 18, the prophet is being asked about in John 1:19, to Jesus. Why does Peter apply it to Jesus if it's supposed to be Muhammad, according to the Sheikh in this video?
Are you done with your question?
Yeah, okay.
Look at Elijah.
First thing, I may have held that view, but right now what I have come with is a discussion that you didn't even allow me to bring up, right? Secondly, I could be wrong.
He's always a victim. He's always a victim guy.
And things, and I could be right. I'll have to research that again before I come back to you. I'm not just going to here try to get clickbaits like you. Secondly, Peter taking John 1 has nothing to do with
That's
being
all
the
he
prophet
does.
Muhammad
Wait,
mentioned.
hold on a second. Wait a minute. That's what he hired people to do, is to get
is to
He put
take clips to
10,000
make him look good. Yeah, clips from
Wow.
this. You better find another video, sport.
I'm not here to make myself look good. Like, that's what you're trying to do. Clickbait. But I'm going to do it after this. I'm going to hire people for $10,000 to do it. That's what I'm going to do. Okay.
This is nuts, man.
Bible. That's not the prompt. The prompt is the name Muhammad is clearly mentioned in the Bible. Do you agree or disagree?
That's why I set you up with asking you if you identify Muhammad as the unlettered prophet. You've been set up by that initial question. And you told this poor man who said this was Jesus, you said, no, that was Muhammad. So you're going to go back and correct your mistake about
running
Park?
from the prompt.
You're running from
The
yourself.
prompt is
That's awesome.
He said
That
you're
is
running from the
awesome.
prompt. Vocab said you're running from yourself. Oh, man.
And you told this poor man who said this was Jesus, you said, no, that was Muhammad. So you're going to go back and correct your
you
mistake
are
about
running
Park?
from the prompt.
You're running from
The
yourself.
prompt is very clearly the name Muhammad is clearly mentioned in the Bible. Do you agree or disagree?
Okay.
And by the way, guys, that's the modified topic that he brought to the debate, and they found out when they got there how he had changed the prompt. And now he's saying, "What is it? This is the prompt I prepared for." So you prepared for the prompt that you're using right now, and they prepared for a different prompt, and they find out when they get there that they're doing this modified prompt. Crazy.
Do you agree or disagree?
So I take it you
Get to
don't.
it.
No, we need to respond, right?
I want you to get to it with,
Okay.
with
Yes
the points of what
or
you're
no?
doing. Get
All
there.
right. So is
I'm not getting yes or
hold
no.
on.
Okay, we'll
I
go to
see
the next point
he's-
then.
He's
Is Deuteronomy
trickling in.
18
Get to
Is
it.
Deuteronomy 18 describing the prophet Muhammad?
He did not answer my question. Is the name Muhammad clearly mentioned in the Bible? That's the prompt. Yes or no?
You identified him as the unlettered prophet. Okay, so I see you don't want to do
see
Hold
you're
that.
not
on.
responding, right?
Okay, now
But
hold on.
he
Let's
said
ask this
Muhammad is the
question.
unlettered
Let's
prophet.
ask this
So
question.
it's a title. So that is a name.
So that's where I want to say is, what is Muhammad in the Bible, in the text? Define what that is.
Very clearly. Is the name Muhammad clearly mentioned in the Bible? Yes or no?
But in your prompt, what is the definition of Muhammad? Who is
The name Muhammad.
Just the name.
Just the name.
Does this name? What
Yes.
is?
So
Muhammad, yeah.
So I thought that would happen.
All right.
So if you remember when
Whoa.
you were first asking,
He's not
me-
answering yes or no.
Will
I-
you stop
I've asked like 6
Will
times.
you please stop interrupting me?
I'm
while I
not
try and-
interrupting you,
While
but
I
I asked you a
transition
question.
to a different topic since
I
you're running.
asked you a question. You're not
Please-
answering it. You're
please-
transitioning. Who's the one running?
Please stop
Transitioning.
By the way, look at what Vocab's doing here. He's mimicking Sheikh Uthman, who, again, Vocab was one of the last people to go. Everyone else is gone, and Sheikh Uthman's whining the entire time. We stop interrupting. We stop interrupting. And now Vocab, we stop interrupting. We stop interrupting. Vocab's classic, man. Vocab's classic.
I asked the question from the prompt.
Else.
You are running from the prompt.
No, I'm not.
The very clear question from the prompt.
What is the importance of the name Muhammad?
I'll explain it.
Okay.
He said it has to be the name Muhammad, but he himself already identified Muhammad as the unlettered prophet, thereby identifying Muhammad as the unlettered prophet. That's the line of questioning. You knew you were trapped because I have you here, so you wanna do it on a technicality, but that's okay because I planned for the technicality. So let's go to John 1 and we'll transition to is Jesus God because that's in the same No, it's this. No. Hold on, let me explain why. No, I'm gonna explain why because it's in the same passage that also refers to Muhammad, supposedly. It's the same place of John 1. So what I'm going to do is show you what John the Baptist was actually talking about.
Look, you're running like as if you're in a marathon. Very clearly, the prompt is the name Muhammad clearly mentioned in the Bible, yes or no?
No.
That's the prompt we're on, not Jesus being God.
I asked earlier what the importance was, right? And you said you would oblige the different directions of coming
you
in
did say
on.
That. I heard
you
her
did
ask
say
Can
that.
he actually answer the question, though?
Yeah, guys. So if you understand what's going on here, there are three prompts. So Vocab starts by calling him out for misrepresenting sources and stuff. Then they go to Muhammad in the Bible, but one of the other prompts was, is Jesus God Almighty? And Vocab's crossing over. He's like, okay, so you're this prompt here, because you're going to John 1, this leads into the other prompt, and Sheikh Uthman is trying to just focus on Muhammad's name. And again, these are topics he modified. He obviously knew he was planning to change them and stuff like that, because he said he prepared for these particular prompts. They all found out what the actual prompts were when they got there after Sheikh Uthman modified them. But yeah, what Vocab's doing here is saying these two prompts are actually connected right there in John 1. And so he's trying to address both prompts there, and Sheikh Uthman is saying, no, you can't address the other prompt.
Yes or no, and then he can go into any side he likes.
I said no.
Okay, I did not hear you say that. Good.
Okay.
So you're saying no.
Muhammad,
the name Muhammad is not mentioned in the Bible. Go ahead.
So I want to give you a choice. All right. Would you rather continue on about the unlettered prophet being Muhammad?
I'm going to give you a choice. Either admit that Muhammad's not mentioned by name in the Bible, or start eating that trash can. What are you laughing at? You don't even know what that's from, man. That's from They Live. He said, I'm giving you a choice. Either put on these sunglasses or start eating that trash can. And that was the choice he gave someone. Let me back up a little.
The name Muhammad is not mentioned in the Bible. Go ahead.
So I want to give you a choice. All right. Would you rather continue on about the unlettered prophet being Muhammad in John 1, or do you want to see who John the Baptist says John 1 is about, which is going to go to the deity topic?
Neither.
Door A, door B.
Neither.
Because
Wow.
How well do I know this guy, man? He knows.
Too good.
He knows Vocab is ready for these two things. He doesn't want to go near these two things because he knows Vocab's ready for him. Oh man.
prompt we're on is Muhammad mentioned in the Bible? And you said no.
I keep looking at the Christians in the background and they're all dying laughing. This is classic.
Yeah, every time I see his face, he's laughing.
Yeah, they're loving this, man. Guys, Dawa caught people off guard with their tactics and stuff. People weren't ready, but Christians adapted. They learned the tactics and they learned to destroy it. And now their most famous dais, this is what happens to them.
Interrupt me now? Can you not interrupt me now?
Remember that?
Can you not interrupt me?
You remember.
Thank you. All right. So now the prompt that we're on, which you're running to Jesus' divinity and all that stuff because you're scared of, is Muhammad mentioned in the Bible? Now, right here in Songs of Solomon, the name Muhammad is clearly mentioned. And this is not my opinion. This, again, I'm bringing Christian scholars from a lexicon that Brown, Driver, and Briggs brought together.
Okay, let's do it then.
Can I not be interrupted? Can I not be interrupted?
Is it plural or singular?
Here, the name.
He's going to say this is according to scholars that Muhammad's mentioned by name. Oh my goodness.
That's insane.
Are you kidding me? Let's see.
Muhammad is so clearly mentioned that even in your own lexicon, it says this comes from Hamida of Arabic. And is mentioned Muhammad Dim. Now Dim, even though it has a institution of being plural,
bull,
but Elohim.
Hey, guess what? Everyone here, no one has looked up what that lexicon says. Based on what we know about Sheikh Uthman, anyone there think he's representing it accurately here? Anyone? Anyway.
Him doesn't mean that there are multiple gods, that majesty and honor. Ephraim being plural, but Elohim.
Oh, let me back. Guys, look,
in your own
what he's going to do here apparently is they say it's the plural of majesty. There's no plural. I mean, they say the plural of respect. You add I am, the plural, to show extra respect.
Yeah.
There is no plural of respect in Hebrew. That's something they made up. Anyway.
So here's what you do when you go to this lexicon, and Muslims make this mistake all the time. They do this all the time. What you have here, I just pulled it up, Brown Driver Briggs lexicon, and you look up the roots, not the specific word that's in Song of Solomon here, but the roots. Hamid, the root, which is like the verbal form, which means desire or take pleasure in. It tells you, because this is a Hebrew, is a Semitic language, so it tells you what is the word in Aramaic. It gives you the word in Aramaic, Hamid, and then it gives you the word in Arabic, Hamida, and it tells you this is what it's very common to do when you go to the root. You look at, okay, this is the root in Aramaic, and some of them will show it in Phoenician and other languages, other Semitic languages, and so it's literally just saying, he's saying it came from this Arabic.
That's what he said.
Hamida. It doesn't say that. It's just telling you that this is the word meaning desire, and then it tells you. Watch this though. When it tells you with the Arabic, it says in Arabic, it says it means to praise, to eulogize, to approve of. Then it gives you the Sabian word, a Sabian word in gratitude or praise. And then they say it doesn't exist in Syriac, but it's in Aramaic. Anyway, the point is that it's telling you, okay, this is the word in Hebrew, and this is what it is in Aramaic, Hamed, and this is Hamida, and then this is telling you this is what it means in these languages. It's not telling you it's coming from these words or these, like, it's saying no, this is the Semitic language coming from, they're all of these Semitic roots. It's telling you this is what it means in these respective languages. And why they do that is because you get kind of like a sense of like what the word means when you see like, okay, this is what it means in Aramaic, or this is what it means in Arabic, this is what it means in like Ethiopic or Phoenician or whatever, and you kind of get an idea of like what the word means in these other languages. But by no means is it saying that this comes from the Arabic word. This is ridiculous. There's no way that he's reading the lexicon and is actually saying that. He's obviously misunderstanding it or just lying about it.
And this is what he showed up for, guys. So notice this: he's the one who changed at the last second, even though he knew he was going to do it, and he prepared. So he's trying to catch people off guard for just arguing for the name Muhammad in the Bible. And so this is what he showed up prepared with, and he can't even get this right.
Wow.
Dawa, guys. Dawa 2026, man.
It says this comes from Hamida of Arabic, and is mentioned Muhammad Dim. Now, Dim, even though it has a institution of being plural, but Elohim doesn't mean that there are multiple gods, that majesty and honor. Ephraim, the younger son of Joseph, also has that im. It is a majestic plural. And just like the name Muhammad is clearly mentioned in the Bible, cannot be translated into the overall lovely, because, for example, the word name Avery means the king of the elves. But I'm not going to go and say the king of the elves was debating me, right? Just like David is the most beloved. Emmanuel, God is with us. Elijah, God is my Yah. And Daniel, God is my judge. All of
look at Elijah back there, man. What?
those have meanings, but they are names. And that is why the name Muhammad is clearly mentioned in the Bible by name.
Could you read Song of Song 5:16 and replace the word that you're saying should be Muhammad and read out Muhammad when you read it?
Okay. My mouth is most sweet. He is altogether lovely, which is Muhammad. He is my beloved, and he is my friend.
Just the phrase, just the word. Don't add a new phrase.
Muhammad. I was just reading.
Okay, what word are you replacing it with, though?
Lovely.
Okay,
the most lovely.
So can you say it how it would be read if the original word that's translated here, the translators are wrong about, you're saying, there should be Muhammad. Could you read it and
Okay.
put his name in there.
His mouth is most sweet. He is altogether Muhammad. That is his name that I've just read for you now. He is my beloved,
Elijah.
and this is my friend, O daughters of Jerusalem.
All right, so who's talking here?
Again, do you want me to
I just asked
get
you a
into
question.
it?
Who is speaking here in Song of Song 5?
According to biblical sources, and I have brought this together, this is a prophecy about the prophet that is to come.
Are you freaking kidding me?
What
This
a
is a
liar.
prophecy about, there's not one word about a prophet there. There's not one word. She's praising her husband's hot body. That's what she's doing. Right? She talks about his head. She talks about, she goes part by part. She goes down and then back up to his mouth. His mouth is sweetness itself. He is all together. So after going part by part, describing his body, his arms, his legs, and everything, then she says he's altogether lovely. And Sheikh Uthman says, yep, this is a prophecy about a coming prophet. Are you kidding me?
Is speaking in Song of Song 5:16. Who is the one speaking? I didn't ask you what it was. I didn't ask you for a literary classification of the genre. I asked you who was speaking. Do you know?
This is a love song that is written as a parable for the prophet to come.
Whose
And
wife is this?
Again, this is not an actual wife and husband. It is a prophetic.
whoa.
You hear the
You said it-
Christians who've
I
actually
speak,
read it?
or am I just going to be cut off?
He's running the line. He's asking you a
Okay,
question.
I'll let you go ahead with the
Who's
line
the wife?
first.
Okay. You're saying this is not in Song of Solomon. This isn't Solomon's wife?
Can you continue? Is that a question?
That's a question. In
This
Song
is
of
the-
Solomon,
this
this
is the-
ain't Solomon's wife?
Let me just for those who haven't read Song of Solomon, it's Solomon and his bride, and they're praising each other's bodies and how attracted they are to each. It's love poetry. What you did, the only thing you can say that even begins to go in the direction, which I'm saying this because they'll bring it up, that you have had Jews and Christians who were kind of embarrassed that you have this book that's just clearly the book's about a sexual attraction between a husband and wife, and it's just all this erotic language describing each other's bodies. You had some Jews and Christians who were bothered by this, like, oh my goodness, here you have this like sexual this book of husband and wife just describing each other's bodies the entire time. So you had some Jews and Christians who thought, no, this must be about something else. This must be about something else. And so you had Jews who interpreted it as about God's love for Israel, and you had Christians who interpreted it as Christ's love for the church. If you just read it, it's just Solomon and his bride talking about each other. And you had people who were kind of embarrassed by the naughtiness, not realizing, what are you talking about? God created sex. God created that sort of thing. God's the one who created this. It's not bad for a husband and wife to really, really be into each other. So anyway, Muslims take it that there were Jews and Christians who interpreted this as one big metaphor. And then Muslims will go, oh, okay, well then it could be about Muhammad. And that's where they go with this. And here you have Sheikh Uthman. This is a prophecy. This is a prophecy. Anyway, just wanted everyone to have the background on what's going on there. But oh my goodness! And then they find the name Muhammad in there because it says Mahmud.
Is it
Can
the
I
wife or
finish?
is it not?
But can you answer
It
instead
is
of
not.
filibuster?
It is a parable. It is a reference. It is not an actual love song. This is mystical symbolism, as your own Christian study Bible, the Orthodox and Study Bible points out that.
Can you read 1:1?
A mystical symbolism is involved in a highly figurative language. It is included in the Old Testament to be explained from the prophetic figure of the Lord as the husband. So this
Please
is
read
referring.
Song of
Can
Song
I not
1:1?
get interrupted?
Hold on,
We
please
need
read
to look
Can
that
I
up,
not
by
get
the way.
interrupted?
Even what he just read there, prophetic.
Yeah, we need to look that up.
The Lord as the husband. The Lord as the husband, not Muhammad as the husband. So anyway, the point is, they have to point out some Jews and some Christians have interpreted it as metaphorical or allegorical or something like that. Yeah, and so the husband there is, you'd either say God or Jesus, the Lord. How in the name of common sense are you finding any support that this is just Muhammad. Anyway.
Let's
if you don't
finish.
mind.
I thought you were closing, but go ahead.
I was closing if you had let me finish. So this is a mystic symbolism for the prophet is going to be referenced as the husband, not
The
Solomon
prophet.
himself.
Can you that's not what that says. Can you read Song of
I
Song
just
1:1?
read it, quote unquote.
It doesn't say
There is no way it didn't. They said Lord. They said mystical for the Lord, and he says, and so they said this is about the prophet who was to come. Oh my goodness, man! You can't trust this guy reading any source at all.
anything about Muhammad in there. Can you
Again,
read Song of Song?
I did not say it said anything about Muhammad.
You just did.
I did not. The prophetic figure is what I said. I'm glad it's being recorded.
We're very tight on time right now.
Song 1:1.
The Song of Songs, which is Solomon.
Whose?
Solomon.
Whose?
If you're done with the theatrics, I'll continue.
because he had the Hebrews light in the room.
Break it out. Yeah, so Vocab just takes him back. Verse 1. This is Solomon. This is Solomon's.
I'm responding by reading context. You're telling us, as a Muslim, who you're not a biblical scholar, you don't know Hebrew because it's plural. That's a problem for you. You think you can just transpose Arabic with Hebrew. You cannot. You ran to this because you thought it was a strong place, and I was okay with that. This is Solomon's wife. Why is Solomon's wife telling him how fine Muhammad is?
Great question. Now, let me answer.
Even the moderator laughed at that one.
Here's what we're going to do. For purposes of time, we're going to let you respond, and then we're going to do a closing and a closing, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again,
She says this.
no, I'm here all night if you want to be here. Don't think you got nothing on me.
I thought you had the out at 4.
I do have.
Okay.
Oh.
Whoa! You see that? Look at that. I'll stay here all night. I thought you had to be out here at 4, right? And then because he has to leave at 4, so they don't get to one of the prompts. Then he comes back and records the next day. Everyone run from me! Everyone run from me! Everything is a show. Everything is a show with these guys. But if he were actually in a situation where he say, "No, I'm ready. I'm ready to go all night. I'm like the El Cid, blah blah blah." If you really wanted to spend a lot of time, I would just say, let's read the entire book, Song of Solomon. It doesn't actually take long. They're all short chapters. Read the entire book and tell me this is about Muhammad. Love to see that. Love to see that. Sheikh Uthman, if you want to join us live, happy, and we could just read Song of Solomon. 8 chapters talking about Muhammad, right? That's what we're going to find.
Appointment, but that doesn't mean I'm running from his time-wise. Don't be...
That's what the wife said to Solomon. I'm here all
wait,
night.
if
not
you're
Muhammad.
right, he confirms the appointment. He confirms the appointment. Wow, they should have edited that part out. It makes it wow.
Let's see. Back up a little. This is good.
You respond, and then we're going to do a closing and a closing, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again,
She says this.
no, I'm here all night if you want to be here. Don't think you got nothing on me.
I thought you had the out at 4.
Vocab in a second. He goes, that's what Solomon's wife said.
I do have an appointment, but that doesn't mean I'm running from his time-wise. Don't be...
That's what the wife said to Solomon. I'm here all night, not Muhammad.
Okay. Once again, as clearly mentioned in your own Christian study Bible, this is not a literal poem back and forth. Rather, it is, and I did not say that it said Muhammad. He lied about me again. But
You
the
said it's about the
mystical
prophet.
symbolism is involved here in a highly figurative language. Figurative language. The inclusion of the Old Testament is to be explained from the prophetic figure of the Lord as the husband. Not
Lord.
Solomon, as the prophetic figure of the Lord, right? And this is, again, mentioned from many different sources that you can see that this was actual figurative language. It's telling you about the prophet that is to come. And the actual name Muhammad is in there. Actually, I showed it to you from the Bible.
And by the way, the earliest, I forget which rabbi it was, but the earliest reference I've ever found for the allegorical interpretation was specifically because people were quoting it as like naughty, right? They're quoting this back and forth and stuff as this naughty poem and stuff like this and giggling about it. It can't be that. It can't just be about sex. But Sheikh Uthman is like saying this as fact, and then if you want to say it's as fact, then it would be, again, from the Jewish perspective about God's relationship with Israel, from a New Testament perspective about Christ's love for the church. I don't agree with either one of those. You never in a million years get that from the text. So to just take that for granted and then to get like a trillion, like to go a trillion miles further than that and say, oh yeah, it's about a prophet. There's a prophecy about a prophet. Where are you getting that? And then to say it's about Muhammad. This is just pathetic, man.
16, there's again.
In verse 16, who are the daughters of Jerusalem in relationship to Muhammad there?
Is this your closing?
Yeah, we're going to move to closings now.
So it says, this is my beloved and my friend.
Build it into
and it says, oh, daughters of Jerusalem. The last question, if you could answer. Who are the daughters of Jerusalem?
Are we doing closings or are we doing questions back? Because I'm going to
Why are you looking to the woman?
Who are the daughters?
Don't degrade her by calling her.
We don't have time for this, gentlemen.
Who are the daughters?
Don't degrade her by calling her a woman.
Closing, please.
Okay, if you answer, I'll build
Do not degrade her by calling her a woman. That is the most offensive thing anyone can say. That someone is a woman. How dare you disrespect this person by calling her a woman?
Right on. Who are the daughters of Jerusalem?
I'm waiting for your closing statement.
Build it in. Say who the daughters are.
That's fine. Because daughters of Jerusalem were not big fans of Muhammad. I'll just say that.
Absolutely not. Yeah. Why would you say that?
Yeah, because that's verse 16 that you brought us to. So it shows your reading is absolutely acontextual. So here's my closing statement. I started off destroying you in MacArthur, your own source, about textual variants. That was strike one. Then what happened is I went to Dunn and showed you how Dunn refers to Christians worshiping Jesus and even mentions a specific verse. That was strike two. You're done, just like Dunn. 3, you ran from the question that you set yourself up with about the unlettered prophet because you knew you were in a box. You affirmed the unlettered prophet was Muhammad, but I was leading you down the path, dog walking you, and you didn't want it to happen. So you ran to Song of Song 5:16, which you thought you were safe in. But then when we got there, you had to answer all kinds of questions, and you couldn't, so you did this. And that's my closing statement. Thanks for the Quran, by the way.
You're welcome.
Wow. Thank you, Cab. Go ahead to you.
Your theatrics are cute.
That Vocab massacred this dude, man. Vocab. But we'll go ahead. Yeah, we'll go ahead and listen to Sheikh Uthman, how he's going to repeat himself and say everyone's running from him, I'm assuming. Let's see.
But they're not academic. Again, the prompt was, is the name Muhammad clearly mentioned in the Quran? And you ran from it. You tried to go for John here and there. You never answered the question until you were put on the spot. And when you were put on the spot and you had to say no, I showed you from your own lexicon the name Muhammad is clearly mentioned in your Bible. And this is a commentary of the own Christian Bible saying that this is the prophetic figure that is to come. That is who's being spoken about.
You guys catching this? The little part he actually cited is this is actually about the Lord, right? It's mystical about the Lord. He represents this as about a prophet to come.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that's what this text is. You cannot trust this guy citing a source. I don't care what he's saying. I don't care if he cites green eggs and ham. Bring up the text. We cannot trust you. You never, ever, ever accurately represent what you pretend. And he's always holding the book up because he knows, like, his followers just be, oh, him holding book. Him must be right. Him must be right. Him got book in hand.
As husbands. And when you talk about the daughters of Jerusalem hating Muhammad, that is absolute just something you pulled out of the air with no evidence at all.
The one who poisoned him like
Can I thank you.
Cap. Yeah. Come on now.
Wow.
You guys catch that?
Vocab was killing him.
No, the Jewish women love him. The one who poisoned him loved him. Oh man, he tossed it in there. There we go. I had to back it up.
That this is the prophetic figure that is to come. That is who's being spoken about as husbands. And when you talk about the daughters of Jerusalem hating Muhammad, that is absolute just something you pulled out of the air with no evidence at all.
The one who poisoned him like
Can I thank you.
Cap. Yeah. Come on now.
The daughters of Jerusalem didn't come together.
Look at people cracking up in the background.
Poison anybody. Now, regarding MacArthur.
More than anybody?
Cab. Please.
It's a great line.
Regarding your little theatrics, it's cute, but not academic. Again, you've been proven wrong. The prompt has been proven in front of your face that the name Muhammad is mentioned. I already addressed the issue of plural, and you just skipped over it because you knew that you had no response from it. Elohim doesn't mean many gods, right? Again, Ephraim doesn't mean that the younger son of Joseph was more than one person.
Point out what you just said, Jay.
Yeah, when like when the Bible is talking about like
Gods,
don't have
the gods of other
before
nations.
me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, or the gods of other nations, exactly. So it can refer to gods in plural. It depends on the context, actually. So
that is honor and glory that is used in the Hebrew language, not the Arabic. I didn't just bring it into Arabic. Now, MacArthur, just since you brought it up, still shows there are errors in the Bible. Just because he has a different view on what he feels can be corrected doesn't mean that it is. Those scribal errors still stand in the Bible in front of me today and in front of you as well. And even with Dunn, you went to an earlier chapter where he's discussing, but you skipped over his conclusion, which I'd already commented, because you are the one running from it. Thank you.
That was a massacre.
Yeah. Now I know why people are saying Vocab just cooked him the entire time.
Yeah,
I have to watch this, but I wanted to do it on stream because it was like, man, that was awesome.
It was crazy. It was crazy because Vocab said, I asked Vocab, hey, you saw everyone. Well, who'd you think did best? He said Elijah.
Yeah.
And Vocab just massacred him, man. Dang.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts, man. All right, let's take these super chats here. D. Wood, you are so funny. That's true. Your impersonations are on point. How would Hijab, Ali Dawa, and Uthman after meeting review sound like? After meeting review sound like? How would Hijab, Ali Dawa, and Uthman after meeting review sound like? I don't know what you're saying. Like, what would they sound like? Like Hijab don't sound like this. They're strong. And Ali Dawa, he sound like this. Go. And Uthman does sound like Kermit the Frog. Jai with the team rocket grunt. Jai with the team rocket grunt fit rocket fire. You should watch how Hashim of Speaker's Corner misuses and totally misquotes the Bible. Could we misquote their Quran? No, they'd lose their minds. And they'd say that proves we're liars. But anyway, go easy on Uthman. He got his diploma from Higab Cambridge Leering Training College Center.
Probably.
Wait, why did Uthman have to look up the verse? I thought they all have it memorized. I thought that's how it's remained perfectly preserved. By the way, I have never talked to one who memorized it. I've met a couple in my life of people who've memorized the Quran, but for an actual Dawa guy who's bringing up the topic Muhammad in the Bible to not know 7157, that's insane.
I've never met a Dawa guy, any Dawa guy who's memorized the Quran. I've met a couple ex-Muslims who have memorized the entire Quran,
though. Steve Jobs, cool newsboy cap. Oh, hi, Mike Winger. They're calling you Mike Winger. That's funny. Uthman wasn't spanked this badly since his days attending madrasa.
Nice.
Hey, we got Than here saying, I'm back. Everyone, Than is back. Allah simply made it appear that Uthman misquotes. They need to do something like that. Ask ChatGPT how pet is called in Hebrew, Hayat Mahmad.
Yeah, Hayat Mahmad, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's an Israeli. We're giving that comment there. Yeah, I mean, there's so many funny things you can, like, they all come from the same root. So what he's putting out is like the word for pet is based on the same root in Hebrew, modern Hebrew. And you could have other words too, like, it says do not covet. It's the word for covet is the same exact root there. So if you wanted to play like Muslims, do not,
because it's something desirable. It's something desirable.
Yeah, do not Muhammad. Do not Muhammad. so that's the Ten Commandments according to Uthman's reasoning and these Dawa guys who play with languages that they don't know.
Yeah, guys, don't Muhammad.
Don't Muhammad.
Muhammad is in song Let's Go Outside by George Michael. Let's be honest, Momo claiming he was prophesied in Bible Eroxtica tracks. And this mod is the same lady Jake the Meta Muslim said cussed him out when he did their show recently. Yeah, he said she just totally melted down and it was a total crash out. And sadly, Jake describing events is about as reliable and trustworthy as Sheikh Uthman citing a source. So I'm guessing we'll see it at some point. For your hat fun, David, have it tailor-made to fit your big brain, rotund head. God bless you guys. Thank you for fighting the Muslim lie machine every day. That's what we do, and it's only going to get better, guys. We got cool stuff coming up. All right, Jai, any last thoughts before we close out here? Glad we actually watched that, because almost closed out with Vocab, and I don't even know if I would have ended up watching it, because I would have been like, okay, Vocab obviously crushed him. Didn't even get to see, might not have even watched the other part, but I was like, yeah, I'll have to check that out. And anyway, we did. Glad we stuck around.
Yeah, definitely worth it. I mean, yeah, this is a age-old one that Muslims have been bringing up for a long time now. Muhammadim. Oh, it sounds like Muhammad. Oh, so therefore it must be Muhammad. And the eem at the end just is like a plural of, respect and majesty. Even with the name Ephraim, what he brought up, you don't ever add a plural to a name. So the name will be Muhammad. So adding the eem at the end, like for example, the name Moses is Moshe. You never have anywhere in the Bible Moshe eem or something like that, or like any of the prophets.
David eem.
Yeah, David eem. Like, this is even. Oh, are they not respected? Or is only Muhammad the one that's respected? Like, this is ridiculous. So this doesn't work. And also for grammatical reasons, impossible to be Muhammad there as well. Like, to be something entirely Muhammad makes no sense. Well, how can you be entirely Muhammad? It doesn't make any sense at all. It's entirely desirable, lovely, etc. But yeah, anyway, we're used to them playing games with like that. But Vocab, great job, and yeah, praise God that these guys all showed up and showed them up, and this whole thing is it's like a meltdown in the Dawa world because of this. So praise God.
And it's just great. Like, where are you going now, guys? Where are you going? I've been saying this, guy. I've been saying the Dawa guys don't last long, because they all have their little tricks and tactics. Christians eventually catch on. The tactics and tricks don't work anymore, and then you gotta come up with new Dawa guys. So the generation from the past 5 to 6 years is now on their way out. They're becoming completely obsolete. They can't go into a debate like this and not get crushed anymore. So need new Dawa guys with new tactics and so on. So we're going to see where they go after this. And we've got Muhammad is in the song Mamma Mia by ABBA. Yeah, Mama. It sounds like Muhammad, right? Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia. See, it sounds like Muhammad. You see the proof. And God Logic's latest stream is Uthman destroyed God Logic because rhetoric. Yep, that's what he does. All right, guys. Thanks everyone for joining. What's today? Today's Friday. Guessing I'll be on AP's channel tomorrow night. Not sure what we're talking about, but tune in. It'll be awesome. You'll see. Catch y'all later.